Chapter 357. An archer actually dashed into the crowd and started killing. This caused the players' heads to buzz. The strongest bow. Lu Chun turned around and shattered a flying sword with 2 arrows. The player who tried to sneak an attack was heartbroken. My strongest level 5 orange weapon. When the others saw this, they gasped. It can shatter the opponent's weapon and nullify the skill. Is this the terror of a legendary weapon? Kill him. Kill him. Use Earth-level techniques. Surround him, let's attack together. Lu Chun snorted. Standing so close together, aren't you courting death? Underground magma. The ground suddenly shook violently. Then, the ground bulged up. The players in the center of the earthquake were all stunned. Then, magma erupted from the bulging gap. In the distance, the Earth players saw this scene and were speechless. This is a volcanic eruption? Is this Mad Demon's skill? He can trigger a volcanic eruption. This is too crazy. He can be this strong. Oh my god, this is unbelievable. Now I'm relieved. I used to wonder why we should play the game with him. In the end, we're so much weaker than him. But now, look at those level 2 players who can't fight back. They're so strong, but they're still tortured to death. What are we? Actually, I think Mad Demon was really merciful to us. So this is Mad Demon's true strength. Although Fengling was not standing in the front row, she could still see the battle in the distance. When she saw Mad God single-handedly taking on 1,000,000 level 2 players, Fengling was very excited. Mad God, I knew you would come. I also know that you've always been kind. You won't let others bully the Earth players. Lu Yi and the others were closer to the front. At this time, Lu Yi frowned. Oh my god, Mad Demon's strength is too terrifying. Why do I feel that my brother, our big brother, can't beat him? Lu Yi certainly did not want Nameless to lose to Mad Demon. Although they seemed to be on good terms, she still hoped that her brother was the strongest. But now, it seemed that Mad Demon's strength was too terrifying. Li Muhua glanced at Lu Yi and whispered to her, Hey, your brother hasn't told you yet? What didn't you tell me? Li Muhua was not a talkative person. Since Lu Chun did not say anything, it was not convenient for him to say more. He scratched his head and said, Oh no. It's just that your brother didn't tell you who is stronger between him and Mad God. I think my brother is still the strongest. My brother has been grinding dungeons recently. I believe that when he comes out, he will definitely be stronger than before. I believe in him, Lu Yi said proudly. Li Muhua nodded. Who was stronger between Nameless and Mad God? Anyway, Lu Chun was just casually speculating. But then again, why didn't Lu Chun tell his sister about his other identity? At this point, Mad Demon and Nameless were one and the same. It did not matter even if it was made public. Lu Chun naturally had his own reasons for not mentioning his 2 identities to anyone. Become solipsistic or nameless, you decide. That was what the Wandering Deity NPC said to Lu Chun. As Lu Chun delved deeper into the game, he gradually understood this sentence. Now, no one thought that Jiutian was a simple game anymore. Perhaps the answer would be revealed as they explored more heavenly regions. Regardless, Lu Chun did not plan to reveal his identity for now. There were screams from the heavenly regions players. What kind of damage is this? Is he crazy? F***CK, I can't get close to him. I'll be at critical health in a few seconds. He's using his bow when he doesn't get close. We don't dare to use our high-level skills. How can we fight him? His health is 4 million? How is this possible? It's so hard to hit him, and he even activates a super large area of effect taunt. His health is so fast. We can't hit him at all. Did you see the damage reflected? I finally got close to him. With one sword, I lost more health than him. Facing a 1,000,000-strong army, even Lu Chun could not be completely unscathed. However, after being hit, Lu Chun had a 33% chance of activating passive taunt, which increased his defense by 100% and his health recovery by a large margin. The health that was hard to reduce could be recovered by a lot with passive taunt. In addition, Lu Chen could also use the health recovery skill Rejuvenation, which could recover 50% of his health at once. Not only is his attack high, but he also has high defense and health. Not only that, he also has passive health recovery. Not only that, he also has active health recovery. F***CK, I'm not going to fight anymore. What kind of archer is this? Have you ever seen an archer chasing after you? After a full hour, hundreds of thousands of the Heavenly Regions players had been slaughtered. Spiritual Energy Storm. Lu Chen activated the Mutt Orb skill, and his pure spiritual energy was restored to full. The group of people completely collapsed. My heart is dead. Too scary, he's really a demon. We can't win. My weapon is already gone. I don't want to fight anymore. This kind of monster is not something we can deal with. Why does this kind of guy exist in the Heavenly Regions? This is simply unreasonable, it's simply unfair. After another wave of killing, Lu Chen used Spiritual Energy Storm again. This time, the players were completely speechless. This guy can't be killed, so many strong players have died, we can't do anything anymore. I want to go back to the novice village now. 6 million bounty? This F***King double is not too much. After 3 hours of slaughter, 60% to 70% of the Heavenly Regions players had fallen, and the remaining people had been frightened by Lu Chen's strength, hiding at the side and not daring to attack again. Lu Chen did not kill them all. He finally stopped and stood at the side to rest, waiting for the others to resurrect. Not long after, Lei Yin and the others finally decided to resurrect. When they saw Solipsistic, everyone no longer had any thoughts of fighting. This guy's strength was already above the million-strong army. Resurrected. Lu Chen said indifferently, "Good, then let's discuss the compensation." Lei Yin looked at Lu Chen in horror. "Solipsistic you, why are you so strong? Logically speaking, you should have already cleared the Heavenly Domain boss." Lu Chen shook his head. "What's the rush to clear the Heavenly Domain boss? None of you can leave," I said, "before you paid 100 billion, but from the moment I made my move, you have to pay 200 billion. 200 billion. According to the calculation of the 2 million players, each player had to pay 100,000 gold. What? You're still not satisfied?" Lu Chen was somewhat impatient. "Solipsistic, we can't take out that much money." Lei Yin finally spoke the truth. 100,000 gold per person? Even in the previous difficulty of the game, there were very few people who could take out that much, not to mention now. Chapter 358. Solipsistic, we really don't have that much money. The other players also pleaded. "If we had that much money, we wouldn't have come here to rob the players from Earth Village. Yeah, we admit that we can't beat you, but even if we sell all our equipment, we won't be able to take out that much money. You opened hard mode, and our consumption has increased by several times. We've been unable to make ends meet for a long time." Lu Chen frowned. "So you're not willing to abide by my words? Mad Demon, we won't target other Earth players in the future, but we really don't have that much money." These people had already given up resisting, but the problem was that even if they admitted defeat, they couldn't take out the money. Lu Chen thought for a while. "Forget it, you're not the one robbing me. Explain it to the Earth players yourselves." Lu Chen asked the Earth players to send a representative to discuss the compensation with the other party. Of course, he didn't leave and personally supervised the scene. We can't take out such a large amount of compensation. Now that the difficulty of the second heaven has increased by 2 levels, most people don't even have enough money to buy medicine. The Great Wall of Iron and Blood was also dumbfounded. Were the players in the second heaven so pitiful? Cough cough. Didn't you say that you're strong enough to defeat the Heaven Domain boss for several months? How can you not have money? The speaker was no longer Lei Yin, but a man in his 40s. He sighed. Actually, it's not what you think. The income from the second heaven is indeed good, but the cost is also high. The cost of learning high-level skills is very high, and we still have to repair our equipment and buy medicine. Originally, we could still make ends meet, and we barely had some left. You should have seen the wild monsters in the second heaven, right? Their attack doesn't lose to the boss of the first heaven. Under normal circumstances we can kill them. But Mad Demon, The man was halfway through his sentence when he suddenly looked at Lu Chen with trepidation. His resentment instantly dissipated, and he quickly changed his attitude. Ahem, but the game's difficulty is much higher than before. The monsters' stats have quadrupled, and their attack, defense, and blood spirits have all been boosted. On the other hand, the players' stats have been reduced by 22.5%. Not only has their damage been reduced, but their healing has also been reduced. Just do the math. Even the Radiant Moon werewolves outside are having a hard time fighting. They have to use a large number of pills every time they attack, and the prices here are high. Another representative, a female player, sighed. Actually, the people who came to crusade against the mad demons are the ones who have been affected the most. Our strength is at level 2, and we are not the top existences. The real experts wouldn't even bother to come here. The Great Wall of Iron and Blood exchanged glances with the other representatives. You guys aren't the strongest at level 2? Of course not. The compensation proposed by Lane may seem scary, 100 billion, but on average, it's only 300 gold coins per person. But you want us to pay 200 billion instead. We only have 2 million people. This is really not enough. The Great Wall of Iron and Blood suddenly understood why this group of people hated Solipsistic so much. He had single-handedly changed the fate of all the players, causing them to fall below the poverty line from having enough to eat and wear. Speaking of which, this group of Earth players had to face such a terrifying world as soon as they arrived. A few people faintly looked at Lu Chen, who was looking at the sky. The level 2 players suddenly started to act pitiful, but looking at the situation, it seemed that what they said was the truth. They were willing to admit defeat, but what if they couldn't afford it? The Great Wall of Iron and Blood looked at his companions, then looked at Lu Chen. Mad God, and everyone else, I have a suggestion. What do you think? You can't afford the compensation, but you can't not pay anything. So, I have 3 conditions. Lu Chen said indifferently, you're the representative now. You don't have to ask for my opinion. The level 2 players also said seriously, okay, tell us first. With Lu Chen around, the Great Wall of Iron and Blood started to feel more confident. First, you can't target Earth players in the future. We can ignore normal PK and robbing, but actions like today's will definitely not happen. Second, you have to return all the equipment, gold coins, and materials that you've obtained from us. Third, you have to carry us for a month. The Great Wall of Iron and Blood said, you can divide your people into 200 teams. During this month, you have to follow our arrangement. We will distribute you to each country, and you will then lead us to fight the Radiant Moon werewolves. We can share the experience, but the equipment and materials will belong to us. Although our combat power is a little low, we have a lot of people. We can arrange enough pharmacists for you. This way, you won't have to keep buying pills. The Great Wall of Iron and Blood looked at his companions, and the representatives all nodded. They had no objections to his suggestion. On the other hand, the defeated party didn't have much say in the first place. Moreover, among the conditions that the Great Wall of Iron and Blood had proposed, the first 2 were like no punishment. The third one could actually achieve a win-win situation to a certain extent. Great Wall, you're too good to them. Lu Chen couldn't stand it anymore. 200 billion. Would working for a month be enough to pay it back? Moreover, they could still share the experience. The Great Wall of Iron and Blood explained, Mad God, actually, it's not easy for them. Now that the game's difficulty has increased, everyone's life isn't easy. There's no need to force them to their deaths. When the level 2 players heard Mad God's tone, they obviously felt that the punishment wasn't severe enough. They quickly added, yes, everyone's life isn't easy. In the future, we definitely won't find trouble with you. This month, we'll definitely do our best to carry you. Lu Chen pursed his lips. You guys agreed quite quickly. Forget it. Since both sides feel that there's no problem, I won't interfere. However, I'll say the ugly words first. If anyone slacks off, don't blame me for being rude. We wouldn't dare. Actually, this punishment. No, to be precise, it should be cooperation. It's beneficial for both sides. We also want to level up quickly. Mad God, forget it. They're really quite pitiful, a Guild Alliance representative said. Yes, I heard about their experiences. I also feel quite pitiful. Lu Chen looked depressed. This group of people actually joined forces to plead for mercy for the other party. Their experiences had already made the enemy feel pity for them. It seemed that they were really quite pitiful. Got it. Lu Chen stood up. Then you guys discuss the details. I'll go find a few friends. After saying that, Lu Chen directly walked to the back of the human formation. With so many people, it was obviously not easy to find someone. Lu Chen directly shouted in a loud voice. Winchim, come find me. I'll take you to level up. Oh right, Mad Waves people, come over too. Nameless asked me to take you guys to level up. In front of billions of people, they were called out by Mad God. This honor made the 3 billion Earth players green with envy. Even the 2 million level 2 players on the opposite side revealed looks of envy and jealousy. Damn, that guy is personally taking you to level up. What the F*** CK? Sigh, some people have already won at the starting line. Why don't I have such a friend? I'm so envious. If only Mad God could take me along. I just want to ask, does Mad Waves still need people? Chapter 359. Standing beside Solipsistic, Winchim blushed all the way to her neck. She did not expect this guy to call her out in front of all the players in the galaxy. Mad God. Winchim greeted Lu Chen shyly. Lu Chen smiled. Although his smile was still a little scary, at least it wasn't that kind of crazy and bloodthirsty smile. I still have to thank you for helping me by the skill book. When the people from Wild Waves come, I'll take you to level up. Winchim was a little disappointed. Was he only bringing her because she bought the skill book for him? Was there nothing else? Of course, it was not convenient for her to ask this question. Not long after, Lingnuo rushed over with a group of people. Wild Waves now had 2,500 people. Even Mad Demon could not bring everyone. He could only pick the best first and then let them bring the rest. After seeing Mad Demon, they were still a little nervous. After all, Lu Chen's current appearance was a little scary. Mad God, hello. May I ask where our guild leader is? Lung Nuo asked. We haven't seen him in a long time. Oh, him. He came to the second heaven with me. He's been busy these 2 days, so he asked me to take care of you guys. Back then, only Lu Chen could see the heaven domain opening rune. The others did not know that only the team that defeated the heaven domain boss could enter the second heaven in advance. Anyway, he could say whatever he wanted. Haha, so the guild leader came to the second heaven a long time ago. He still misses us. Of course, when has the guild leader not cared about us? Mad God, if you meet the guild leader, please let him know. Everyone misses him. Lu Chen nodded. Okay, I'll let him know. Now that everyone was here, Lu Chen summoned Nine-Winged. Nine-Winged, let them take a ride. Other than Lu Chen, Nine-Winged never liked others riding on him. Lu Chen had to discuss with this guy, Roar. Nine-Winged knew this group of people, so he reluctantly gave them a ride. Nine-Winged Skydragon soared into the sky. The group felt like they were on a roller coaster. Screams came from behind Nine-Winged. Not long after, Nine-Winged finally calmed down. As for the identity of the mad demon, this group of people was more or less afraid. A demon with a gold ID should not be easy to get along with. Ahem. Lu Chen was the first to speak. These guys were all his old friends. He also wanted to chat with them. When we farm later, stand next to me. Don't run around. Oh, okay. Lu Chen was speechless. Why were these guys so afraid of him? Well, only humor could resolve the current awkwardness. I'll leave whoever runs around in the werewolf camp and let them go home on their own. Mad God, we'll remember that we won't run around. Everyone gulped and said, Mad God, we won't run around. Lu Chen was speechless. If he were to say this as nameless, they would definitely start teasing him. But now, sigh, forget it. I'll just fly over quietly. After a moment of silence, Ning Shuang suddenly plucked up her courage and asked Lu Chen, Mr. Mad God, is my master doing well? I haven't seen him in a long time. Speaking of which, a month was not too long. However, in Ning Shuang's heart, time seemed to pass very slowly. I'm much stronger than before. This time, I'm 2 rounds away from entering the list of 120 people. I want to tell my master this news. Winchim was also surprised. Wow, the list of 120 people. That's the strongest 120 people in the world. Very strong. Ning Shuang was a little embarrassed. I'm still far from my master. I just hope that he won't think that his disciple is weaker than others. Lu Chen was a little surprised. As a non-professional player, Ning Shuang's improvement was definitely huge. This disciple of his had always been very hard-working. Lu Chen nodded and said, Well, that's very good. Continue to work hard. Your master will be happy for you. Then, Lu Chen looked at Winchim. Winchim, Second Heaven needs a stable team. If you're willing, join Mad Waves. Winchim was stunned. Join Mad Waves? But they already have an official livestream. It's okay. You can do an official livestream or do it yourself. Actually, with Mad Waves' current scale, it won't be a problem to host a few official livestreams at the same time. Nuan Nua, what do you think? Lu Chen called Ling Nuan Nuan Nua, causing Ling Nua to be stunned for a while. Mad God actually called her that. Were they close? Fortunately, Ling Nua reacted quickly. Ah, Sister Winchim, Mad God is right. We're planning to develop more official live streams. If you're willing to join us, of course we'd be more than happy to. Of course, if you want to continue doing your own live stream, it's not a problem. We all know how popular you are. Letting the fans see that even the most popular streamer has joined Mad Waves is actually a kind of promotion. Winchim had actually received many invitations from Guild. Monolith, Thunderclap, Friendship, and so on had expressed their interest to her. After all, she was the most popular girl on Jiutian's official website and had a large number of fans. For Winchim, after reaching Second Heaven, it was indeed necessary to find a strong and stable guild. And Mad Waves was definitely the best choice. If you don't mind, I'm willing to join Mad Waves. Lung Nua, Lu Yi, and Ning Shuang pulled Winchim intimately. That's great. I'll send out an invitation now. 20 minutes later, Lu Chen brought everyone to the Radiant Moon Werewolves base camp. When they saw the hundreds of Radiant Moon Werewolves below, their faces turned pale. So many Radiant Moon Werewolves. And their levels are higher than those at the entrance of the village. The ones here are all level 5 to 55. Are we going to level up here? The 9-winged Frost's flight path answered their questions. After circling in the air for a while, it landed at the entrance of the base camp. Lu Chen did a head count. Lu Yi, Winchim, Lung Nua, Ning Shuang, 10 Steps, Floral Fragrance, Little May, Chic Handsome, Stardust, Gaming Black Hole, the 3 Adonis brothers, Little Ming, and the leaders of Mad Wave. There were a total of 41 people. Stand around me. Oh, Winchim, Little Ming, since you're live streaming now, there should be a lot of people watching. Lu Chen suddenly thought of this. The more people watching, the higher their income would be. Can we start it? The two were surprised. Lu Chen said nonchalantly, "It doesn't matter." Since Mad God didn't care, Winchim and Little Ming hurriedly started the livestream. Livestream Mad Demon is leveling up. With this question alone, the number of viewers in the two livestream rooms soared quickly. Wow, livestream Mad Demon is leading people. I've never seen Mad Demon leading people before. That's great. We can finally see how Mad Demon levels up. This is a historical mystery of Jiutian. The last time Brother Nameless led people, damn, 20 minutes was worth a few million experience points. I wonder how Mad Demon's leveling speed is. Chapter 360. Everyone was looking forward to Mad Demon's wild farming. However, Lu Chen summoned his clone and lured the monsters away. After leading the group into the werewolf's base camp, they found an open space and lay down. "I've been too tired from farming dungeons for the past 2 days. I'll take a nap." The group was surprised. "Mad God, I don't think we can farm here." Lu Chen froze for a moment, then realized that he didn't make it clear. "Oh, I'll farm the monsters. You guys can rest here. But you just said you wanted to sleep." "I'll let my pet release the skills for me. It's not difficult. She'll do it." Lu Chen looked at everyone's blank faces. "Pet? How could there be a pet here?" Lu Chen smiled and shook his head. "Xiaomin, come out and say hello to everyone." As soon as he said that, a little ghost suddenly appeared in front of everyone. "Hello, I'm Boss's ghost pet, Xiaomin." Stardust and the others widened their eyes. Ghost pet Louis looked at Xiaomin in surprise. Although Xiaomin was in ghost form, the little girl still looked very cute, like a little loli. "What a beautiful little girl." "Thank you. Sister is also very beautiful." "Haha, you're so good with words." "Mad God, where else can we find such a ghost pet?" Lu Chen glared at his sister. The little girl looked silly. "Of course not. She's the only one in the entire server." The smile on Lu Yi's face suddenly froze. Thinking about it, how could a guy like Mad God have a bad pet? She was the only one in the entire server. "Yes, I got it when I was at level 1. Usually, she attaches herself to me, so you guys can't see her. She'll release simple skills for me. You guys just stay by my side." Xiao Min, clone, use spiritual energy burst when it's cooldown. If you don't have enough spiritual energy, eat a turn mixed energy pill. I'm going to sleep for a while. "Okay, boss." Xiao Min obediently returned to Lu Chen's body. The doppelganger pulled the aggro, while the heavenly flame pillar and black coffin dead zone cleared the monsters. After strengthening his skills, the heavenly flame pillar and black coffin dead zone dealt off the charts. With his doppelganger protecting him, the radiant moon werewolves couldn't even get close to him. The rest was left to Xiaomin. Lu Chen lay down to sleep. Lu Chen was indeed tired. He had been grinding the door of life and death for several consecutive days. He had been grinding for more than 10 hours a day. Most importantly, it was very boring. This made it easy for him to feel sleepy. Before long, Lu Chen fell asleep. Ling Nuo and the others looked around. A large number of radiant moon werewolves were charging over furiously, but they were already suffering continuous damage from afar. At a radius of about 200 meters, a circle of heavenly flame pillars connected together like a wall of light. As long as the werewolves came into contact with this wall of light, they would be stunned and burned. Almost no one could enter this area. His clones were helping to pull the werewolves that had escaped from the corners, while others were taking care of the werewolves that had made it through the heavenly flame pillar. Heavens, these werewolves are unbeatable superbosses to us, but Mad God is farming them like this? Stardust shook his head and sighed. That's ridiculous. Is this how Mad God usually levels up? I know it's wrong of me to feel this way, but I really want to say, I'm so envious. He's leveling up while lying down and sleeping. What the hell is this? The fans watching the live stream were also in an uproar. Damn, my worldview has been shattered. We have to die just to kill a werewolf. But Mad God is sleeping and leveling up at the same time. I finally know why Mad God is so strong. His leveling speed alone isn't something a human can achieve. Mad God has been here for a month. At this rate, won't he be maxed out? Don't be naive. There's a level limit to leveling up. Besides, he has to farm for equipment. Otherwise, what's the point of leveling up alone? You've seen Mad God's dazzling gold bow. That's the power of a legendary weapon. Brothers, I imagine myself as Mad God just now. It felt so good. You guys should give it a try too. Leveling up while sleeping. Wow, it's so good. Don't think about those unrealistic things. It's better to imagine yourself as Mad Waves members. They're having a great time too. Mad Waves members, who were leveling up with Lu Chen, did not need to do anything. They were shocked speechless as they watched their experience bars increase rapidly. 54 minutes later, the group suddenly emitted a golden light. Pillars of light rose from their feet. The eyes of the people watching the livestream almost popped out of their socket. Damn, they've reached level 51 in just half an hour. I can't be any more jealous. This is the difference between people. I don't expect to be Mad God. Please give me a friend like Mad God. From level 50 to level 51, they only needed 200 million experience points. With 41 people, that was 2 billion experience points. Ling Nua and the others looked at the sleeping Mad God and suddenly realized something. Oh, please don't let him wake up. The sooner he wakes up, the less we'll level up. Yes, we can't let him wake up. Ladies, sacrifice yourselves. You must serve Mad God well. Brother Ing Jun, what are you talking about? Serve Mad God well? I didn't know you were such a handsome guy. Oh, I'm asking you to fan Mad God. Also, he must be uncomfortable lying down. Xian, let him sleep on your lap. Nua, Lui, Ning Shuang, Xiaomei, give Mad God a massage. The more relaxed he is, the deeper he'll sleep. Hey, Brother Ing Jun, why don't you do it yourself? Hey, if I were as beautiful as you guys, I'd definitely do it myself. I'm a man. What if Mad God wakes up and sees me touching him? What if he kills me? Everyone thought about it. Mad God was probably straight. Brother Ing Jun was indeed not suitable to do it. 10 Steps also said, Brother Ing Jun is right. Think about it, 1 level in an hour. That's above level 50. If we do it ourselves, we might not be able to level up that much in a month. It'd be a shame to miss this opportunity. Anyway, it's a formal service and we're in a game. Please sacrifice yourselves. Sheik also chimed in, hey, if I were a girl, I'd fall in love with Mad God. Although he's a little hardcore, have you seen Beauty and the Beast? Charming is charming. Ing Jun and the others had a point. After all, it was just a game. The 4 guilds looked at the sleeping Mad God. He was a terrifying demon. But it had to be said that although he wasn't handsome in the traditional sense, he was very handsome and cool. Alright, for everyone's happiness, let's do it. Xian was a little shy at first. However, at this critical moment, the necessary sacrifice was definitely worth it. She gently placed Lu Chen's head on her lap. The group didn't need to fight monsters anyway, so they immediately got busy. Xuan's legs became Lu Chen's pillow. Ling Nua, Feng Lingzi, Lu Yi, Ning Shuang, and Little Mei fanned and rubbed Lu Chen's legs. All of a sudden, what should have been a tense and intense leveling scene suddenly became an extremely erotic scene. Seeing these goddess-like beauties serving Mad God to sleep, the live stream was filled with jealousy. Okay, I want to become stronger. I must become stronger. Me too, I want to sleep on a beauty's lap. I want to roll on a beauty's lap. Brother, wake up or... Chapter 361. Lu Chen slept soundly. It could be said that he had never slept so well in his entire life. After an unknown amount of time, Lu Chen opened his eyes to find a beautiful face looking at him. Beside her, there was a beauty fanning herself. Could it be that spring had arrived? Ah, how refreshing! Lu Chen smiled. It must be a dream. Otherwise, there was no way something like this would happen. Speaking of which, why was there such a strange guy among these beauties? And why was Lu Yi here too? Whatever, it was about time that girl massaged his legs. Since that was the case, he would sleep a little longer. When Lu Chen woke up for the second time, he found that he was still surrounded by the same beauties. What's going on? That's not right. Wasn't I leading a team to farm? Why am I having this kind of dream? Even if it's just a dream, it should be time to wake up. No, it doesn't seem like a dream. Lu Chen frowned and sat up. What are you doing? The girls quickly shrank to the side. Mad God, you're awake? Lu Chen looked at the time. Oh my God, I slept for 7 or 8 hours. That was a good sleep. We saw that you were really tired, so we wanted you to sleep better. Ling Nua lowered her head, not daring to look at Lu Chen. Really? Seeing Lu Chen's dark green eyes, Ling Nua could no longer pretend. Actually, we wanted you to sleep a little longer. That way we can level up a few more times. Lu Chen was speechless when he heard this. These guys were really funny. However, Lu Chen didn't say anything about this little trick. Oh, I slept pretty well. It's getting late. If I sleep like this, how am I going to sleep at night? Lu Chen thought about it and decided to force himself to sleep even if he couldn't. He couldn't mess up his biological clock. How about this? I'll carry you for another night. By then, you should be level 57 or 58. The 7 stars chasing the moon dropped by the radiant moon werewolves are pretty useful. It'll be even better when you're level 5. If you get a few of them, you won't have a hard time fighting the radiant moon werewolves in the future. Really? Thank you so much. Lu Chen simply cultivated his spiritual energy on the side. After 10 o'clock, he leaned against a tree and rested. The others were also very bored, so they began to call out the minigame menu and look for people to play cards or chess with. Just like that, an all-nighter passed. Lu Chen only slept for 4 to 5 hours in between, but his mental state was very good. At 8 o'clock in the morning, Lu Chen sent Wild Waves and the others back to Earth Village. This time, he had wasted a day and a half for the Earth players. However, they were all of the same race after all. This little bit of time could not be considered a waste. After the second heaven domain opened, Lu Chen returned to the first heaven domain from the entrance of the Earth Village and went straight to Ren AI Peak. 10 tigers, 3 idiots, and the others were still grinding dungeons. A large pile of equipment had dropped in the army's warehouse. Fortunately, the warehouse was big enough. Although there were a lot of messy piles, it was still enough. After summoning all his subordinates back, they had all reached level 50. Lu Chen distributed a batch of equipment to them from the equipment they had obtained. Alright, it's time for us to move. Lu Chen opened the army's menu and found the base relocation function. F***CK, all the buildings need to be rebuilt? This is a bit of a trap. Lu Chen had no choice but to let all his subordinates bring along a large pile of equipment from the warehouse, the soul essences and other materials from the personal dungeon, and the spiritual sources. After packing up, Lu Chen looked back at Ren AI Peak. Who would have thought that this was a bear peak? Goodbye, Ren AI Peak. After saying that, Lu Chen teleported directly to the Tower of Babel and entered the second heaven. This time, the only thing in the first heaven that was still related to him was Lu Yi's mission. As for the new location of the territory, Lu Chen had already thought about it. The most suitable place for the territory was undoubtedly the Spirit Condensation Mountain Range. It was deserted, had no monsters, and was rich in spiritual energy. He did not know if it would affect the spiritual sources. Lu Chen found an empty area in the mountain and put down the spirit source and the mountain protection array. Then, he released the members of the army. From now on, this will be our new home. Mountain and Erzhan, lead everyone to gather construction materials. We'll build the new territory. Yes, boss. By the way, I'll arrange the location of the personal dungeon. You guys have to prepare the materials for the personal dungeon as well. Understood. After settling the matters, the rest was left to Mountain and Erzhan. This time, they had gathered more materials, so it might take a month to complete. During this time, Lu Chen also planned to take a look at the new map. The Dragon War dungeon has been completed. I don't want to do it a second time in my life. Let's go to the level 70 map. The so-called level 70 map referred to level 70 and above, which was between level 70 and 79. This level was just right for Lu Chen to train. In the north of the Dragon War dungeon, the main road was divided into 3 branches, and each branch had several maps. Following the main road to the north, it led to the Bridge of Helplessness. Further north was the Monster Mountains, Fallen Immortal Plains, and the level 80 main city, which was currently labeled as Ownerless Land. On the east side, it led to the Preparatory Arena, level 70, followed by the Fairy Trail Forest, level 70, and Divine Herbalist Valley. On the west side, it led to the Preparatory Shura Field, level 70, followed by the Monster Forest, level 70, and Heart Refinement Courtyard. Divine Herbalist Valley? Lu Chen thought of the haunted valley that Lu Yi was in. The original name of that place was Divine Herbalist Valley. Perhaps there was news about the spiritual martial herbalist there. But what is the Monster Forest on the other side? Will it drop purple beast cores? I still need a lot of beast cores. Lu Chen wanted to go to both places, but before going to these 2 places, it seemed like he had to go through the Preparatory Arena and the Preparatory Shura Field first. What's the difference between these 2 places? Lu Chen asked curiously. At this time, a team of 5 people came from the direction of Longzhanye. They just happened to arrive at the road sign. After seeing Lu Chen, they looked at Lu Chen strangely. You are alone? Lu Chen's gaze towards them didn't seem to be particularly friendly, so this question became somewhat interesting. The old players had long said that the second heaven was a world where the strong preyed on the weak. From the experience of the Earth Village, the attitude of the previous Sacred Gate, and so on, they had already seen some clues. Once they reached a higher level, the people here wouldn't be so kind anymore. If one did not want to be robbed, it was best not to act alone. This was a sentence that the old players often said. Although Lu Chen was not afraid of them, it seemed that they only had a few dark gold equipment on them. There was nothing valuable, so Lu Chen was too lazy to make a move. My friend asked me to come over and take a look. When this group of people heard this, they did not have any doubts. After all, one person could not even pass through Longzhanye. Since the other party also had companions, they had to be cautious. Several people looked at each other, and chose not to make a move in the end. Both sides had no intention of making a move, and the atmosphere was much more relaxed. "Friend, which way are you going?" one of them asked. "I'll probably go and take a look, but I want to ask, is there a difference between the Preparation Arena and the Preparation Shuraba? You don't even know this?" A middle-aged man said. "In the arena, including the NPCs, each team selects 100 of the strongest individual players. Using the elimination method, the teams represented by the top 10 will be qualified to enter the Fairy Trail Forest. The Shuraba is even more cruel. 100 NPCs, the strongest individual players, and even the boss will fight in the same field. The last 10 people to survive can enter the Monster Beast Forest. It is said that the drops there are very high." "Oh? So that's how it is." Lu Chen nodded. "Thank you very much. I'll go and take a look first. Goodbye." After that, Lu Chen casually chose the east side road and walked. Until Lu Chen left, a trace of ridicule appeared on the faces of those few people. "Hey, old fox, it's not good for you to trick a newcomer like this. The arena and the Shuraba are not places for people to go." "That's right, full pain is required. Moreover, it's not like the top 10 can enter the later map. You have to be first. The NPCs there are much stronger than the players. They are not on the same level at all. There are also the boss monsters. In the past, no one has been able to clear it, let alone in the hard mode. Going there is suicide. The middle-aged man smiled. Anyway, we're not going. Isn't it good to let them suffer a little? Let's go to the Monster Mountains. Chapter 362. This group of people didn't know that Lu Chen was only pretending to leave. After he left their line of sight, he turned his head and let Xiao Min make him invisible before coming back. Playing mind games? Lu Chen was not afraid of anyone. How could he believe the words of such a person? After hearing the truth, Lu Chen snorted coldly. He went up and used 3,000 instant slashes, and killed 5 people instantly. These people were pitiful. They were killed instantly before they could figure out what was going on. After looting the corpses of the 5 people, the rewards were not bad. There was an additional dark gold bracer and 2 pieces of orange equipment. Lu Chen did not hesitate to put them in his backpack. You tricked me? I'm sorry, you're not qualified. After killing the 5 people, Lu Chen went back to the East Side Road. If I could enter by being in the top 10, I wouldn't mind. But if only the first place is qualified to enter the later maps, then it's a little tricky. After walking for more than 10 minutes, Lu Chen found a huge arena in front of him. The arena was divided into 9 smaller arenas. At the same time, Lu Chen received a system message. You have entered the preparatory arena. The system has activated the full pain system for you. The competition will begin in 18 minutes. Only the first-place player in the preparatory arena is qualified to enter the Fairy Trail Forest and Divine Herbalist Valley. Lu Chen checked his status. At this time, his full pain system has been forcibly turned on. It feels like an upgraded version of the first Heaven Ancient battlefield. Alright, let's see how strong this so-called preparatory arena is. During the 18 minutes of preparation, Lu Chen noticed that there were no other players around. I'm the only one? Don't tell me the others are all NPCs or wild bosses. Lu Chen asked in surprise. After 18 minutes, the preparation time was finally over. Lu Chen was also notified to officially enter the preparatory arena. That's strange. Where are the others? Why am I the only one? Lu Chen frowned. According to Jiutian's standards, they should have been very precise. Why did they not arrange any other matches this time? Why was he the only one competing? I don't think it's as detailed as the Twilight of the Gods instance dungeon. Back then, there were many NPCs watching us. Forget it. Let's wait for the final result. The system is randomly selecting your first opponent. Your first opponent has been assigned. At the same time, the first match will be randomly selected. The venue will be the opponent's server. Quantum teleportation is in progress. Please wait patiently and do not leave the arena. Lu Chen was puzzled. What was the meaning of this? Were there home and away games in this game? In the past, when he fought in the ancient battlefield, it was always others who were sent to Earth's server. This time, he was going to be sent to the opponent's server. But weren't they already in the galactic server? There was a higher-level server above the galactic server? Quantum teleportation is ready. Begin teleportation. During this period, we will upgrade the real-time translation system for you. Before Lu Chen could figure it out, he suddenly felt his vision go black. After a few seconds of dizziness, when he opened his eyes again, he was surrounded by players. F***CK, what's going on? Lu Chen was shocked. In front of him stood a human player. He was about 23 or 24 years old. Not only was he not handsome, but from Lu Chen's point of view, this guy actually looked a little weird. He was about 2 meters tall, but his body was very well proportioned. His eyes were very big, so big that they were a little scary. He had a flat nose and a wide mouth. His long black hair was very elegant. This guy. Lu Chen wanted to complain about his appearance, but when he saw the people below the arena, he was stunned. They all looked similar to this person. On the other hand, he looked a little weird among the group of weirdos. Before Lu Chen could complain, the audience below began to mock him loudly. Wow, that guy is so ugly. Are you sure he's a human? You haven't seen the arena, right? The range of humans is huge. There are many people who look different from us. This guy is only considered good-looking. I really want to participate in the arena. It must be interesting to compete with other humans. You can go anytime you want. Newbies have to go to the arena to train. This is our server's tradition. Lu Chen was speechless. In the eyes of these people, he had become this guy. Speaking of which, the person he was going to fight was a newbie? Lu Chen sized up his opponent. This player was different from the players Lu Chen had seen before. He was now wearing a full set of dark gold equipment, and there were a few spots on his body that were shining. Dazzling equipment? Lu Chen's eyes widened. No way, this guy is so strong? He has at least 3 dazzling pieces of equipment. At this time, a translucent message box appeared in the center of the arena. Information of the 2 combatants. Human Galaxy Server District 19, Level 75 Player, Solipsistic. This server's game difficulty is currently hard. Human Galaxy Server District 44, Level 79 Player, Sunset Stars. This server's game difficulty is currently hell. Lu Chen almost vomited blood. What the F***CK, this is hell mode. Hell mode was one thing, but there were so many people here? One had to know that in the second heaven where Lu Chen was, the players were all stuck in the novice village. There were not many people in Longzhanya, let alone in a level 70 map. But there was a sea of people here. Lu Chen was shocked by the opponent's strength, but the opponent seemed to be very dissatisfied with Lu Chen's strength. No way, it's only hard mode. Sigh, my debut has suddenly become unattractive. The audience below was also disdainful. So it's a hard mode novice server. Looks like we can only watch Sunset destroy noobs. Sunset, I'll give you 1 minute to enter the next round. There's nothing to see in this round. Damn, I just realized that this guy is wearing a few pieces of orange equipment. That's too embarrassing. Does he have any dazzling gold? Sigh, I think the battle will end in at most 10 seconds. Lu Chen sucked in a breath of cold air. Wearing orange here is a shameful thing? Are you kidding me? According to the server's difficulty and player's level, the odds for both sides have been set. Solipsistic, odds 1. 6, Sunset Stars, odds 1. 1, are you kidding me? That guy's odds are only 1. 6, I think it should be more than 2. No way, Sunset's odds are 1. 1. 100 gold coins for 10 gold coins, and Sunset still has to take half of it. That's only 5 gold coins. That's too little. The system is smart. It knows that Sunset will definitely win. Of course, it won't set too high odds. Sigh, I don't care. It's still money. It's a waste not to earn it. The betting time began, and the bets of both sides quickly changed on the screen. 5 minutes later, the betting time ended. Solipsistic, 4. 0.7 million gold coins bet, 102 people bet. Sunset Stars, 5. 70 million gold coins bet, 6,418 people bet. Both sides had similar amounts, but the difference in the number of people betting was 60 times. There was only one reason why Solipsistic had bet so much. Lu Chen was going all in. Lu Chen's eyes were shining. Damn, the chance to make money is here. Chapter 363. The betting ended and the match entered the countdown. Hey, ugly thing, you didn't bet all your belongings on yourself to win, did you? Setting Sun and Stars looked down at Lu Chen condescendingly. You really don't have a brain. Sigh, some people just like to be blindly confident. Very well, keep your money. You know what? I like the setting of full pain the most. Only in this way can you lowly humans learn from your mistakes. In front of us, You are just slightly stronger than livestock. Lu Chen frowned slightly. Sure enough, there was a disadvantage to being called ugly. Lu Chen had a feeling of being unable to defend himself. Speaking of which, the aliens in the second heaven didn't have much of a feeling. Everyone actually looked the same. On the contrary, here, it really felt like he was fighting against aliens. You are superior humans? Lu Chen sneered. I can't see how superior you are. How dare you talk to me like that? I will let you taste the pain later. The match entered the countdown. 3, 2, 1, start. The moment the match began, Sunset's stars moved. Earth-level movement skill, instant shadow. In an instant, Sunset's figure disappeared from Lu Chen's sight. Damn, this guy used an Earth-level movement skill right off the bat. This was something Lu Chen had never seen before. At this moment, Lu Chen already knew that the opponent here would be the strongest he had ever faced. It was very likely that he would no longer have the qualifications to hold back his strength. One had to know that this was only the first match of the arena. However, the more difficult the situation was, the more excited Lu Chen felt. Very good, the opponent was very strong. However, he liked it. Lu Chen's eyes revealed a long-lost excitement. Compared to being invincible, he preferred to meet a strong opponent. Only then could he become stronger. Spear King, Army Destroyer. Sunset instantly closed in. The long spear in his hand rapidly shot out dozens of times. Because the spear was too fast, the long spear had already formed an afterimage. It was difficult to distinguish the real from the fake. Dark Eye of the Gods, in the face of such an attack, became useless. Even if you knew where the opponent's attack was, it was useless if you couldn't avoid it. 7 stars chasing the moon. Lu Chen quickly activated his skill and pulled back. At the same time, he used 7 stars chasing the moon's invincibility to dodge the attack for a fraction of a second. Lightless Sky Flame Pillar, Black Coffin Dead Zone. While retreating, Lu Chen simultaneously activated his skills. You still dare to use your skill? Do you think you can run away? In front of Lu Chen, your 7 stars chasing the moon is a joke. Setting Sun chased after Lu Chen and was about to catch up to him in the blink of an eye. Flickering Shadow, Robbery. Even Lu Chen hadn't thought that his opponent would be able to catch up to him so quickly. Moreover, in the period of time when he was invincible, his opponent had managed to stab his spear horizontally and hit him in the right shoulder. Minus 220,000. 20,000 bleeding. Debuff bleed. Loses 0.5% of max health every second for 20 seconds. Debuff. Movement speed reduced by 30%. Seeing that his opponent was about to follow up with another attack, Lu Chen gritted his teeth and moved quickly. Quick move. Tiger's Roar, Great Ravager Sweep. This time, Lu Chen turned around and unleashed a few sword auras, finally stopping his opponent from continuing to chase after him. After getting a chance to catch his breath, Lu Chen was shocked. In just one exchange, he had been suppressed to the point that he couldn't breathe. This was something that had never happened in any of his previous battles. Damn it, so fast. His movement skill level is higher than mine, and it's very effective. He can easily dodge Heavenly Flame Pillar, and he even has a special attack that can ignore the invincible period of 7 stars chasing the moon. Lu Chen calmly analyzed his opponent's skills. After Setting Sun stars was blocked by Lu Chen, he simply stood there and looked at Lu Chen with interest. That's it? You dare to bet on your own victory with your 5-card stud? You lowly humans don't seem to have any intelligence at all. It's embarrassing to be of the same race as you. The audience below cheered. Heavenly Flame Pillar? It can't be, he still has this kind of trash skills? His skills are too trashy. As expected, it's a one-sided suppression by Setting Sunday. I reckon he won't even be able to touch Setting Sun. Lu Chen turned a deaf ear to the discussions around him. He took a deep breath and wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly, and the excitement in his eyes grew stronger. It was as if he had returned to the past, when he wasn't very strong yet, and would often encounter life and death battles. Laughing? I think you don't know what's good for you. Setting Sun coldly snorted. This time, I'll take your life. Instant shadows, unlimited suppression. Setting Sun's figure suddenly disappeared, and the next moment, he appeared in front of Lu Chen, smashing his spear at him. Go to hell. Heavenly peak suppression. Lu Chen hurriedly dodged, but just as he landed, his opponent followed him like a shadow and smashed his spear at him again. Lu Chen dodged again, but the other side was faster than him and shot him. Lu Chen was actually already in the reverse moonchase state, and the cooldown of his movement skills was extremely short. He dodged again and again, but no matter how he dodged, his opponent could immediately find him and attack him. This is so F***ing annoying. This was unlimited suppression. In terms of movement skills, it suppressed any skills and special effects that were lower than his own quality. Kid, you have quite a lot of movement skills. Unfortunately, you can't escape my five-finger mountain. Annoying? Sorry, I'm not just annoying, I want your life. Spear King, General Stab. A virtual image of an ancient general appeared behind Setting Sun, holding a giant spear like him, and stabbed it at Lu Chen. With a boom, Lu Chen was hit again. Minus 440,000. Debuff. Knocked away, the character is knocked away and loses control of the body, unable to move or use skills. Seeing this status, Lu Chen screamed in his heart. Experts knew that knocked away was an extremely terrifying special effect, because it was too easy to follow up with a combo. Sure enough, an expert like Setting Sun would not let go of such an opportunity. Setting Sun's figure appeared in front of Lu Chen again. Kid, you're finished. Spear King, Ice Cloud Spear. The spear in his hand suddenly emitted a burst of ice fog, and the entire tip of the spear even condensed into frost. With dozens of consecutive shots, Setting Sun directly hit Lu Chen, who was in knocked away. Minus 83,000, minus 82,000. The first two shots were already off the charts. At the same time, Lu Chen was hit by the debuff. Frozen, his body was frozen for 2 seconds. One had to know that the Flowing Cloud Ice Dragon Spear could deal up to 30 attacks, and that was a total of 2,400,000 damage. In addition to that, there was an additional ultimate skill that could be used after freeze. Originally, victory was already in the bag, but from the third attack onwards, a huge change occurred. 41,443. The Ice Cloud Spear's damage was suddenly halved. But this was not the main point. The main point was that Setting Sun had lost his own HP. Minus 60,000. After being hit several times, Lu Chen's passive skill finally came out. Profound Armor. Profound Armor permanently gains a 40% damage reflection effect. After being hit, there is a 35% chance to taunt the enemy for 5 seconds. During the taunt period, the user's physical defense, magic defense, HP recovery speed, and an additional 160% damage reflection effect. Setting Sun was shocked. Damn it, why is this guy's damage reflection so high? I can ignore 50% damage reflection, but I was hit by 150% damage reflection. Doesn't that mean his damage reflection is 200%? And now I'm being taunted. Now, Setting Sun could not stop even if he wanted to. After being taunted, the Ice Cloud Spear was interrupted, and now it became a normal attack. During the time when Lu Chen was frozen, Setting Sun consecutively attacked 3 times, dealing another 400,000 damage to Lu Chen. A total of 1 million damage. At the same time, under the damage reflection effect, he lost 700,000 plus HP. From the damage ratio, his damage was higher than Lu Chen's. Damn it! Why is this guy's HP so high? But, without this profound armor, I can still kill him. This skill is too disgusting. But just as Setting Sun was feeling indignant, He suddenly realized that Solipsistic's profound armor status had disappeared. Didn't it last for 5 seconds? Why did it disappear so quickly? The two retreated at the same time. Setting sun and stars did not seem to understand why the profound armor disappeared so quickly. Lu Chen gave him the answer. He wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. The beating he had just received was not light. You think my profound armor is disgusting, right? Fine. I'll turn off this skill. Lu Chen's eyes were burning with anger that could not be concealed. He took out the abyss crystal bow. Again. This time, if you touch me, it's my loss. Chapter 364. After debuting for so long, this was the first time Lu Chen was beaten to the ground. If it weren't for profound armor, his first life would have been instantly killed. Although profound armor was also Lu Chen's skill, it should be counted as part of his strength. In addition, Nirvana Rebirth had 2 chances to revive, which meant that Lu Chen had 3 lives. However, he was beaten to the point where he couldn't fight back. Lu Chen was really angry this time. Sunset Stars looked at his opponent coldly. You're so arrogant. Since you took the initiative to turn off the only skill that made me slightly afraid, then I'm sorry, but you won't have any more chances. As expected, inferior races are too easily swayed. But for me, as long as I can win, I will do whatever it takes. Instant Shadow, Infinite Suppression, War God Possession, Demon Transformation, Demon Clone. After the clone, Lu Chen and the other 5 clones used clones at the same time. There were a total of 18 clones. Clones? I'm sorry, but they are useless to me. It was unknown what method Sunset Stars used, but he still recognized Lu Chen's original body at a glance. In the blink of an eye, he was already in front of him. As long as he killed the original body, it didn't matter how many clones there were. Last time, Lu Chen couldn't deal with infinite suppression, but this time, Lu Chen was calm. Rapid movement. Blink shot. Rapid movement allowed him to move about 50 meters in 0.5 seconds. This skill alone couldn't compete with Instant Shadow, so Lu Chen used rapid movement and blink shot at the same time. Although it still couldn't achieve the effect of Instant Shadow, it could increase the number of directional changes while moving at high speed. In the next 0.5 seconds, it was so intense that the audience was dazzled and had difficulty breathing. Solipsistic's figure moved quickly, and in the process, he madly shot out arrows. Sunset Star's Instant Shadow was not weak either. He could always appear in front of Solipsistic in an instant and attack. Although Lu Chen was still unable to completely shake off the setting sun stars even with the combination of his 2 movement techniques, the setting sun star's attack could not hit him while he was moving at such a high speed. However, Solipsistic's flash attack speed was extremely fast. Coupled with the void-piercing special effect, it also posed a huge threat to Sunset Stars. Amidst the chaotic arrows, the setting sun's star's suppression was finally restrained. He no longer dared to recklessly chase after Lu Chen. This arrow doesn't have a trajectory, so there's no way to dodge it. I have to be in Shadow Flash at all times, or else I might get hit. Sunset Stars thought calmly. However, Shadow Flash only lasts for 0.5 seconds. Once the time is up, he'll be dead. 0.5 seconds passed in the blink of an eye. Solipsistic was only left with the special effect of Flash Shot. Although the speed of the arrow was very fast, his body was too slow. Humph, you're indeed an arrow at the end of its flight. Do you think you can kill me with this move? Naive. Spear King, Super Armor Assault. Sunset Stars appeared in front of Lu Chen in a flash. At this time, his body was glowing with a golden light. It was obvious that he was not in a good state. Super Armor Assault. Spear King's ultimate move. Super Armor could not reduce the damage of the opponent's skill, but it could prevent the user from receiving any negative effects for 1 second and launch the strongest attack. This guy wants to kill me in an instant, Lu Chen snorted coldly. Shadow Flash. There's more? It's a pity that your body movement is too weak. You can't outrun me. Demon King's will, refresh. Shadow Flash. Sunset Stars did not expect this guy to be able to refresh skills. These 2 rapid movements had dragged out his tyrant body's offensive state. What's worse was that he had no more Shadow Flash uses left. This guy, he's using the refresh rate so decisively? Sunset Stars looked at his opponent in disbelief. This time, he could no longer use Shadow Flash to suppress his opponent. It was reasonable to say that if an ordinary person had a godly skill like Demon King's will, they would naturally use all the skills that could be refreshed. This was the smartest way to use it. However, this guy actually refreshed the skill directly for a useless skill like Shadow Flash? He had used up his trump card a long time ago. Solipsistic stood in the distance and temporarily stopped attacking. He looked indifferently at Sunset Stars, whose face was full of astonishment. Is it strange? Any skill that doesn't exist for the sake of victory is worthless. How did you know that my Shadow Flash has a limited number of times? Sunset Stars glared at Lu Chen. Lu Chen smiled slightly. Isn't it simple? What you used just now was the Tyrant Body, which is the strongest move of your main offensive cultivation method. When you used this skill, I knew that you should have used up most of your Shadow Flash. Why? There are only 2 effects of Super Armor Assault. One is immunity to negative effects, and the other is super high attack power. If it were me, I would have used this skill in a sure-hit situation. However, you used it when I could still move freely. You have confidence in your Shadow Flash, but this is obviously not the best time. This time, you forced yourself to use your trump card, which means that you don't have many uses for Shadow Flash. Although my respawn skill is also a trump card, if it can defeat your trump card, it has already fulfilled its value. Sunset Stars widened his eyes. This guy could still maintain a high level of clarity in such a tense battle just now. He grasped every detail and guessed the opponent's mentality. This time, Sunset Stars was really panicking. Solipsistic's analysis was right. He had used up most of his Shadow Flash. Looking at his opponent again, although the level of his movement skill was not high, he had the advantage in numbers. After respawning, Lone Tyrant still had 7 stars chasing the moon, Blink of the Night, Rapid Movement, Reverse Moon Chasing Effect, and Blink Effect. In terms of movement techniques, he had already lost. When fighting against an archer, if you couldn't get close, you would be a live target. Lu Chen's lips curled up. You must be tired after fighting for so long. Alright, it's my turn. Demon Doppelganger. In fact, before Lu Chen respawned, he used a powerful skill. He used Doppelganger. This way, he could use it again after respawning. New Doppelganger after Doppelganger, there were already 33 solipsistic in the ring, and 11 of them could use Flash Shot. A large number of blurry figures flashed quickly in the ring. Black crystal arrows were shot from all angles. However, with a flash of black light, the arrows were in front of Sunset Stars. With so many arrows without a trajectory, even a god would not be able to block it. Roar. Pure Yang protection. Sunset Stars used his defensive skill, trying to block these attacks. Wind Shadow Shift. He began to use other movement skills, trying to get close. However, Lu Chen's usage of reverse moon chasing had already reached perfection. In irregular movement, he would spend most of his time in reverse moon chasing. He could use displacement skills all the time, and Sunset couldn't catch up to him with just 1 or 2 displacement skills. Solipsistic's calm voice came from all around. Do you still not understand? From the moment I used up your Shadow Flash, you could no longer catch up to me. I'm sorry you didn't cherish the chance to kill me. Now you have no chance. Chapter 365. There was no way to dodge the barrage of arrows. Furthermore, he had to dodge the lightless sky flame pillar under his feet. Dusk Stars could not hold on for long. Finally, when his pure yang defense was depleted, what awaited him was 1,000 arrows piercing his heart. His HP dropped rapidly. Lu Chen did not even use Black Coffin to calculate the final damage. Dusk Star's HP was almost depleted. He only had 1 HP left. This match, District 19 Solipsistic. A large victory sign appeared on the ring. Congratulations on advancing to the next round. You may enter the next round at any time. The lottery system has completed the calculation. You have received a total of 6,400,000 gold coins. It has been sent to your backpack. Lu Chen checked his backpack. 6,400,000 gold coins had been sent to his account. He nodded in satisfaction. It was a small profit. Not bad. When Lu Chen raised his head, he realized that the audience was looking at him in disbelief. Especially Dusk Stars. He could no longer hide the unwillingness, shock, and even humiliation in his eyes. There's no way you can beat me. Your skills are trash. You're from an inferior race. Don't be so smug. I hope you can win a few more matches. Then, you'll be able to see the true strength of our District 44 Galaxy server. He will avenge me and torture you to death. Initiating Quantum Teleportation Program. Not long after, a black portal appeared behind Lu Chen. Lu Chen slowly walked toward the portal. The moment he entered the portal, Lu Chen left a message. Very good. Tell him that he better not disappoint me. After that, Lu Chen disappeared into the portal. It was not until the portal disappeared that the people in District 44 stirred. That guy is so strong. Those skills are not very high level, but when used together, the effect is surprisingly good. He can even avoid the shadow suppression. Where did he get that bow? He's so strong. It's not just the combination of skills. His mind is too meticulous. In fact, I just calculated that the timing of Sunset's super armor was almost perfect. At that time, if he didn't use an even more strange and rapid movement path, Sunset could have hit him. But he decisively used the respawn skill. To be able to deduce the enemy's information from their movements, their analytical ability is indeed formidable. Perhaps they aren't an inferior race after all. That's not necessarily the case. They only have hard mode, and that guy only has 1 dazzling gold. He's definitely not a match for the real experts of our server. Sunset Stars let out a long sigh. He didn't expect his first show to be ruined like this. At this moment, he received a private voice transmission. Stardust, you've advanced, right? When he saw his opponent's ID, Stardust was like a deflated balloon. He felt guilty and blamed himself. Master, I was defeated. I'm sorry. I won't be able to meet up with you in the arena. What? Lost? Your Flash Shadow and Great Spear King have already reached a certain level of proficiency. Which district did you encounter an expert from? Master, No, it's Server 19. Hard mode. Hard mode? Wait a moment, I'll come over now. Lu Chen left the preparatory arena. After returning to his entrance, Lu Chen looked at his empty surroundings and shook his head slightly. Look at other people's home ground and look at mine. This is too miserable. Lu Chen had gained a lot from entering the preparatory arena this time. Other than earning a small profit of 2,400,000 gold coins, Lu Chen's biggest gain was broadening his horizons and encountering a strong opponent. Sunset Stars was very strong. If it wasn't for his dark armor, he might have been able to kill him instantly. So it seems that I'm still not the strongest. Lu Chen frowned slightly. But this is pretty good. It's better than being bored. But then again, it was a server of hell mode, and more than 8,000 people had only bet 5 million gold coins. It felt like they were very poor. Right, I should let the Earth players come over and bet. After a few rounds, they should be able to earn quite a bit of money. This should help them get through the early stages. Thinking of this, Lu Chen summoned Nine-Winged and returned to the Earth Village. In these 2 days, the 2 million Second Heaven players had begun to lead the Earth players to farm. The map of the Earth Village was very large. On Nine-Winged, Lu Chen saw teams leveling up in various areas. It seemed that the Second Heaven players were keeping their promise. When he arrived at the Earth Village's headquarters, a group of representatives from various countries and important figures stood up in shock when they saw the person standing at the entrance. Nameless? It's Huaxia, Nameless. You're finally here. Lu Chen nodded slightly at them. Where are the Great Wall of Iron and Blood and the Second Heaven players' representatives? I have something to tell you. Someone immediately went to inform the Great Wall of Iron and Blood. Today's Earth Village had built a large command room. The Great Wall of Iron and Blood was filled with representatives from various guilds, military representatives, Second Heaven representatives, Lei Yin, the old man Tua Lua Walker, and more than 300 people. Nameless shared his experience in the preparatory arena with everyone. So, you've earned 2,400,000 gold coins in the blink of an eye? Lei Yin did not have any hostility toward Nameless. When she heard Nameless' words, she could not help but be shocked. That's impossible. Tua Lua Walker was also surprised. I've heard that some people have tried the preparatory arena before, but most of them were not qualified to enter. Only a small number of people have entered, but many of them were eliminated after the battle. There are only a few people whose results we don't know. So you can earn money in the arena? Mr. Nameless, I've heard that you have a close relationship with Mad Demon. Even if you're Mad Demon's friend, I still want to ask, what level are you? Lu Chen thought for a moment and said, 75. This time, not only was Tua Lua Walker shocked, but the representatives of Earth were also stunned. That's impossible, Mr. Nameless. We're not doubting your strength, but you've only been in the Second Heaven for a little more than a month. Tua Lua Walker and the others were knowledgeable. Mr. Nameless, do you have Divine Might? After having Divine Might, one's level would be higher. This was no secret to the players of the Second Heaven. Lu Chen nodded slightly. My level is not important. I'm here to tell you this news. If you believe me, you can give me your gold coins, and I'll help you place your bet. If I win, I won't take any of your money. Just think of it as helping you through your current difficulties. Tua Lua Walker looked at Lu Chen with a worried expression. Nameless, from the attitude of the players on Earth towards you, we believe that your character is fine. It's not that we don't believe in your strength, but now we don't have much money left. We can't afford to lose. Nameless, at least show us your strength. This way we can decide whether to bet all our money on you. Tua Lua Walker looked at Lu Chen. Lu Chen smiled and threw a token on the table. The representatives of the second layer of heaven were shocked when they saw the token. That token was the token of the City of Freedom's city leader. So you're that guy. Tua Lua Walker looked at Lu Chen in shock. Then, the 5 representatives of the Second Heaven region stood up and stood respectfully in front of Lu Chen. We've been disrespectful. The city leader is willing to fight for us. Naturally, we have no reason not to give it our all. Chapter 366. Under the explanation of the Level 2 players, the Earth players finally found out about the battle where Nameless defeated Lingtian. Alright, we were blind. Although there are only 2 people from Earth, each one is stronger than the other. Lei Yin shook her head. Sigh, if I knew you were all so strong, my crystal sword. Tua Lua Walker also sighed. According to their strength, they could have entered Level 2 long ago. Looks like we can't just use the time they entered Level 2 as the only measurement. He's really strong. What kind of world could nurture such an outstanding expert? A sacred sect that was gradually stabilizing its foundation as soon as it arrived and became the city lord of a Level 60 main city. One person alone defeated an army of millions. It's unbelievable. In the beginning, some of the level 2 players were still complaining about their defeat. But now, the level 2 players were more willing to befriend the Earth players. It couldn't be helped. Their boss was too strong. After being praised by the level 2 players, the Earth players suddenly felt very proud. On the other hand, Lu Chen's face didn't change at all. As I said just now, the level 2 players' game difficulty has reached Hell mode. Under that kind of game difficulty, they still have a large number of players who can adapt, so our overall strength is still lacking. After seeing a bigger scene, Lu Chen naturally wouldn't be a frog at the bottom of a well. His vision was also much more far-sighted than the average player. If you're willing, you can go to the preparatory arena to watch the battle. Look at their equipment and you'll understand the difference between us and them. Tualua Walker exclaimed. A full set of dark gold equipment and a few pieces of dazzling gold equipment. Is this the benefit of Hell mode difficulty? Nameless, our level is too low, but we can let the strong players take a look. Lu Chen nodded. After level 2, everyone should be able to guess that level 3 will usher in a new round of merger. I don't know what the details are, but I know that it will be beyond our imagination. 9 heavens, 1 heavens, 1 heavens. I believe that in the first heavens, many worlds have already opened up higher difficulties. That's why there is such a big gap in our strength. I don't want the Earth players to be the weakest when we reach the third heavens. Ironblood Great Wall and the others nodded. Nameless, you're right. There's an old saying in Huaxia. Only by experiencing the hardest of hardships can one rise above others. Only by surviving and adapting to Hell mode will we be able to hold our heads high in the future. Lu Chen nodded. Very good. If Solipsistic and I have the chance to find a way to increase the difficulty of the game, I will not hesitate to do so. You should prepare yourselves. This time, the attitude of the players was completely different from before. In the past, even the players on Earth would complain about Solipsistic in their hearts. However, after understanding the situation in other worlds, people began to realize the importance of making the game more difficult. After the meeting, the Earth players immediately organized people to raise money. From the national server, to the regional server, to the provincial server, to the city server, according to the most primitive division, under the organization of the military and the guild alliance, funds were quickly raised. Tualua Walker and Lei Yin also went to mobilize the second heaven players. Although both sides were very efficient, there were too many people after all. Lu Chen gave them a day to raise money. The next morning, Lu Chen came to collect the money. The Earth players had raised 50 billion gold coins, and the second heaven players had raised 20 million gold coins. Speaking of which, the players were really poor now. With 50 billion and 20 million gold coins, as well as 300 to 400 people who wanted to watch the battle, Lu Chen went to the preparatory arena. When he arrived at the arena, Lu Chen found that there were already more than 200 people gathered there. Why are there so many people here today? Lu Chen was slightly surprised. Oh, Nameless, we informed some powerful forces. They all sent representatives over. If it's really like what you said, they will use gold coins to buy the battle footage, Tualua Walker explained. Lu Chen nodded. I see. Alright, you guys can go down. I'm going to the arena. Walking up to the arena, Lu Chen chose to start the matchmaking. The system is screening your opponent. Please wait, screening complete. This battle will be held in District 19. Please wait for your opponent to teleport. Last time, Lu Chen was in an away game. This time, it was his home game. Fortunately, his home game was not completely empty. This time, there were about 500 to 600 people watching the battle. Not long after, a black portal appeared on the arena. From the portal, a bald man slowly walked out. This man was about 1.9 meters tall. His body was muscular and his face was almost devoid of any flesh. He looked almost like a skull. A translucent screen appeared on the arena, showing the basic information of both parties. You have entered the second round of the arena. Activating the full pane system. Information of both parties. Human Galaxy Server District 19, Level 75 Player. Player has chosen to remain anonymous. This server's game difficulty is currently difficult. Human Galaxy Server District 49, Level 78 Player, Pangu King of Might. This server's game difficulty is currently hell. When people saw this player, they started to discuss. He really looks different from us. Damn, look at his equipment. Most of it is dark gold, and he has at least 4 to 5 pieces of shiny gold equipment. There's really an Earth difficulty. Oh my God, how did they survive in this difficulty? The Herculean king looked at Lu Chen, then looked at the bustling audience below the stage. When he heard their comments, the disdain on his face became even more obvious. He snorted coldly. Looks like I've been matched with a trash world. I thought I could meet an expert, but what kind of trash was I matched with? A difficult server? What a joke. Hey, lowly species, if you want to make a living, just bet on me winning. The man did not hesitate to show off his superiority. He glanced at Lu Chen. Trash like you can enter the second round? I really don't know what kind of trash the system matched you with. At least you know your place. You know to remain anonymous. You're probably afraid of embarrassing yourself. Lu Chen snorted. As expected, these people could not hide their disdain when they saw that his server was difficult. They felt embarrassed to say that he was playing difficult. Let's start quickly. I don't want to waste too much time on trash like him, the King of Might said impatiently. The odds for both sides were: District 19 Anonymous Player, odds 1. 7, District 49 Pangu King of Might, odds 1. 1. Lu Chen's odds were still very low. This meant that in terms of equipment and level, the gap between Lu Chen and the King of Might was bigger than the gap between him and Sunset. There were not many people who placed their bets, so the betting ended quickly. District 19 Anonymous Player, 50,026. 5 million, one person placed a bet. District 49 Pangu King of Might, 174,442 gold, 23 people placed a bet. When they saw the numbers, Lu Chen and the King of Might were stunned. Lu Chen thought, what the F***CK? Is this really my home ground? Apart from him, no one else had placed any bets. Was it because no one else had placed any bets? The King of Might. What kind of server is this? Who has 50 billion gold? Chapter 367. Not everyone recognized Nameless' strength. For example, the experts who were just here to watch the show. Among them, 22 of them placed a bet of 150,000 gold coins. Tua Lua Walker looked at the others in confusion. Your stress king won? One of them put his hands behind his back and said calmly, why? Is it strange? A level 60 main city castellan may seem amazing to you, but in our eyes, it's not worth mentioning. Anyone who has participated in the preparatory arena knows how scary the opponents are. It's not an exaggeration to say that a Hell level 70 and above player is qualified to be a level 60 main city castellan in our region. Another person seemed to be a little pretentious with Tua Lua Walker. Tua Lua, you guys are too reckless. Can't you see the difference in equipment between the two sides? You obviously saw it, but you still bet on Nameless. I think you guys have been fooled by him. The further you go, the more you realize how insignificant you are. Tua Lua frowned. He was not worried about losing his money. Everyone had placed their bets willingly, so there was nothing he could do if he lost. However, he suddenly felt that Nameless was different from these people. He had heard of Nameless deeds. He had defeated the Sacred Gate and massacred the Sacred Gate City. After conquering the Sacred Gate City, Nameless had removed the additional fees in the Sacred Gate City. This time, He had even shared what he had seen and heard in the preparatory arena with everyone. Perhaps those who were not familiar with him would think that he was a little cold, but in reality, he was very easy to get along with. He could chat casually with some of the weaker players. Looking at the so-called great god players around him, they were all very low-key. No one had ever mentioned anything about the preparatory arena. Alright, I finally know why the players on Earth trust him so much. Tualua Walker looked at the young man in the ring. That guy is a trustworthy friend. Not long after, the match finally began. Earth-level movement technique, God of War's charge. The Herculean King was the first to attack. Lu Chen was slightly stunned. Wasn't this the special effect of the divine martial arts set? Speaking of which, this skill was perfect for close-range combat. Once hit, the stun time was up to 4 seconds. 4 seconds was enough for a strong player to deal tons of damage. Lightless Sky Flame Pillar. Black Coffin Dead Zone. 7 stars chasing the moon. Lu Chen activated his moves at the same time. War God Possession, Demon Transformation, Demon Doppelganger. You want to run? Sorry, but you can't run away. Black Hole Force Field. The Herculean King suddenly pulled out his staff and formed a black sphere above Lu Chen's head. Under the influence of the sphere, Lu Chen was involuntarily pulled towards the center of the sphere. Even if he used 7 stars chasing the moon and moved quickly, he couldn't break free. F***CK. This, what kind of cultivation technique is this? Ling Nua and the others looked at the black sphere in shock. Boss can't break free from that area at all. All of Boss clones have been sucked in as well. This is going to be troublesome. Although Lu Chen wasn't completely sucked in, his range of movement instantly became very limited. His range of interaction was no more than a radius of 20 meters. This should also be an Earth-grade cultivation technique. So abnormal, it must be an Earth-grade cultivation technique, at least a low-grade Earth-grade cultivation technique. Lu Chen's movement was restricted. At the same time, the Herculean King coldly snorted, "My black hole force field specializes in fanciness. Within the same level, any movement technique can't escape." Sorry, the battle is over. The Herculean King smiled. Psionic Arrow Rain. Pango Herculean King looked like a burly man, who would have thought that he was actually a prophet. Prophet? Humph humph, then you're unlucky to have met me. After saying that, Lu Chen summoned the triple door exclamation point. You can affect movement techniques, but unfortunately, mine is not a movement technique. To be precise, it's a teleportation technique. Lu Chen fiercely entered one of the triple doors. In the next second, he appeared in front of Ali. Lu Chen pulled out his dragon crystal bow, flash shoot. Nameless also has a dazzling gold bow? Tualua Walker looked at the bow in Lu Chen's hand in surprise. He had a deep impression of this bow. His skills are very similar to Mad Demon's. Iron Bloodwall said, "This is not surprising. Nameless and Mad Demon often farm together. This bow is not the only one in the entire server. I don't know if the attributes of these two bows are the same or not. Although this weapon is not the only one in the entire server, but there will definitely not be a second one, because it's too strong," Tualua Walker said with certainty. Although Tualua Walker had doubts in his heart, it was obviously not the time to dwell on this issue. They had bet all their assets on this match. Let's watch the match first. What? It can actually escape from the black hole force field. The Herculean King's eyes widened, but he had no time to think. Earth-grade spiritual shield. The Herculean King raised one hand, and a blue light shield appeared on his body. Seeing the spiritual shield used by the opponent, the experts in District 19 could not help but exclaim, "Damn, it's an Earth-grade shield-type skill." Although the spiritual shield was different, compared to the blood sacrifice shield and the undead shield, its biggest feature was that it did not have an upper limit of defense. When receiving any attack other than Heavenly Wrath attack, The damage received would be first offset by the spiritual shield, and as long as there was pure spiritual energy, the spiritual shield would always exist. Currently, many prophets used spiritual shields, and the consumption ratio was 1 to 10. 1 point of pure spiritual energy would block 10 points of damage. However, the Herculean king used an earth-grade spiritual shield, and 1 point of pure spiritual energy would block more damage. As for the exact amount, no one in District 19 knew. They all use earth-grade techniques. Is this the benefit of Hell mode difficulty? It seems that Nameless is right. The higher the difficulty, the better it is for our future development. I don't know if Nameless can win. I'm starting to worry now. Many people had seen the power of the Dragon Crystal Bow, but they did not know that the Dragon Crystal Bow was actually a prophet's nightmare. Spiritual shield? Humph, I'm sorry, but no matter how high the level of your spiritual shield is, you're still going to die in front of me. The corners of Lu Chen's mouth curled up. An invisible black crystal arrow had already landed on the Herculean king's spiritual energy shield. -0, double critical hit. Absorbed? What a joke, my spiritual shield's absorption ratio is 1 to 100. I'm afraid that you won't be able to break my shield even if you use up all your spiritual energy. The Herculean king was even more confident. Go to hell, elemental curse, thunder curse. Elemental curse? If you can use a single spell in front of me, I'll consider it my loss. As soon as he finished speaking, Lu Chen's second arrow had already arrived. -0, double critical hit, absorbed, debuff, confusion, casting speed reduced by 0. 5 seconds, double critical hit, stun for 1 second, resisted for 1 second. It actually caused stun. Everyone was puzzled. Damn, wasn't that the arrow just now the most common one? Why did it cause stun? Maybe his bow's attribute is different from Mad Demon's. While the Herculean king was stunned, Lu Chen's doppelgangers were also freed. The spiritual arrow rain had reduced 1/3 of their HP, which showed that the Herculean king's damage was still very high. A group of doppelgangers began to besiege the Herculean king. Absorb, 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 absorb. Unlimited absorption. However, from the first stun, the Herculean king did not wake up again. What was even more tragic was that the casting time of the Herculean king's elemental curse, Thunder Curse, had been reduced by 600 seconds. In other words, if the Herculean king wanted to use Thunder Curse, he would have to prepare for 10 minutes just to cast the spell. The Herculean king looked at his casting progress bar, and his face turned green. Damn, it's fine if a melee fighter can stun infinitely, but why can't an archer do it? Is he F***king cheating? I can't use Thunder Curse anymore. Chapter 368. The Abyss Dragon Crystal Bow was simply a prophet's nightmare. Ever since the Herculean king released that Thunder Curse, there was no chance for him to wake up. After holding on for a while, the Herculean king's pure aura was completely exhausted. When the spirit shield was depleted, the prophet's low HP was finally revealed. More than 800,000 HP could not withstand a few arrows from Lu Chen, and he was instantly killed by a group of clones. The winner of this competition is an anonymous player from District 19. Congratulations on advancing to the third round. You can apply for the third round at any time after you are ready. The lottery system is calculating. You have received a total of 832.6 million gold coins. The reward has been sent to your backpack. Lu Chen opened his backpack and took a look. The amount of money inside was a bit scary. The players on Earth seemed to have realized the importance of gold coins in the second heaven. The Jiutian official website on Earth had opened the game currency trading. The current price of gold coins was 10 renminbi for 1 gold coin. If that was the case, it meant that he had 800 billion on him now. According to Tua Lua Wanderer, the price of gold coins seemed to be even higher in other worlds. It was a pity that this money was not all his, otherwise it would be quite exciting. But just seeing this income, the other players could not stay calm. We won, we won. Haha, the odds are 1/6, we earned 60%. More than 80 billion, damn, that's a lot of money. The second heaven players were even more excited. It was too difficult for them to make money now. These former experts were rich if they had a few dozen gold coins on them. Now every gold coin was precious. I should have bet more, what a loss. Fortunately, I bet 50 gold coins, now I have earned 30 gold coins, hee hee, awesome. And those District 19 experts were all pale. When the odds were out, they thought that although the Herculean King's odds were low, they would definitely make a profit. So, they bet a lot of money, but now they lost everything. My 10,000 gold coins. He actually won. That guy is an archer, how can he stun infinitely? This is cheating. It seems that he will stun with a critical hit, but why is his critical hit rate so high? It can't be a 100% critical hit, right? Every time he attacks, it's a critical hit, who can withstand that? And those clones, it's rare to see a normal damage value. Coupled with the critical hit stun, it's a perfect match. The Herculean King still had 1 HP left. He looked at Lu Chen unwillingly. I actually lost to a guy from a difficult world. I refuse to accept this. Lu Chen smiled. No matter how many times you fight me, the result will be the same. Your black hole force field can't break my triple door, and with my Chaos God Heaven Counter Wizard, you have no chance at all. Even though the Herculean King wasn't convinced, after thinking about it for a moment, he found that the other party was right. Originally, he had planned to use the black hole force field to forcefully pull his opponent over, then use a series of skills to finish him off. Speaking of which, this combination was still very difficult to counter. Unfortunately, his combination of punches was completely countered by his opponent. If a prophet like him couldn't cast spells, then what was the point of fighting? Thinking of this, Pangu had no choice but to swallow the resentment in his heart. Your bow. Why have I never seen it before? I've fought in so many arenas and met so many archers, but I've never seen anyone use this bow. Where did you get it from? Many experts pricked up their ears at this moment. If they knew where this bow came from, it was likely that all the archers would go all out to farm it. Lu Chen looked at the bow in his hand. To be honest, he was really liking this black crystal bow more and more. Lu Chen smiled slightly. No way, you've never seen this bow before? This bow was the only one dropped from the death door of the 99 life and death doors. It was the most difficult death door of all the death doors. It was set to be unable to use any skills, so it was almost impossible to clear it. Moreover, it only dropped a normal black crystal abyss bow. In order to let this weapon display the true power of the strongest bow, one had to clear all the death doors and obtain the reward of strengthening a dazzling gold equipment. All in all, although the black crystal abyss bow was not the only equipment, Lu Chen also learned a piece of information from Pangu's mouth. Considering that it was impossible for Pangu to have seen all the archers, but at least one thing was certain: the black crystal abyss bow was an extremely rare dazzling gold equipment. Sorry, I'm here to fight in the arena, not to share my experience of farming treasures. Lu Chen smiled slightly. As an Earthling, it was normal for him to help the Earthling players, but he had never forgotten his human nature. In this world where the strong preyed on the weak, he had never thought of being a good person. Protecting himself was the most basic operation. Pangu sized up this young man again. He was very strong, but what was more rare was that he had never forgotten himself. In this world, he seemed to have always maintained his original heart. He carefully explored. All right, you are indeed a terrifying opponent. The Herculean King stood up, and a black hole teleportation door appeared behind him. Kid, with a guy like you, I believe that your world shouldn't be far from upgrading to hell mode. What I want to tell you is to maintain your current mentality and work hard to become stronger. Because no matter how strong you are, once you reach the third heaven, it will be your nightmare. Lu Chen narrowed his eyes slightly. Do you know what's in the third heaven? Is there a wider range of servers? The Herculean king smiled slightly and said mysteriously, I can only tell you one thing. Every heaven domain is a heaven, and every heaven domain is not a simple unification. What you will see is a world that you can't even imagine. Alright, I hope that I won't meet a pervert like you next time. Damn it, I'm being cursed to death. Panga Herculean King was completely different from Sunset and Stars. They were both defeated. Sunset was clamoring for revenge, but the Herculean King was able to talk calmly with Lu Chen. Lu Chen did not have the slightest hostility towards such a generous opponent who was willing to accept his loss. Instead, he had a good impression of him. Actually, you're quite strong. The next time we meet, I'll try not using a bow. I think that's the real challenge. Lu Chen said sincerely. Not using a bow? The Herculean King frowned slightly before revealing a confident smile. If an archer doesn't use a bow, what's the point of fighting? Actually, as long as you change to a bow, you won't have any chance of winning. Lu Chen smiled back and did not answer, because this was a question that had no conclusion. However, in Lu Chen's heart, he was also filled with confidence. Archer? Who said he was an archer? I hope that we'll have the chance to meet again next time, although the probability is too small. The Herculean King shook his head and walked towards the teleportation door. Kid, if fate wills it, we'll meet again. Panga Herculean King disappeared into the black hole. Lu Chen's heart was filled with an indescribable excitement and anticipation. If I can meet more pure experts like this, that would be a lucky thing. Turning around, Lu Chen looked at the audience. Hey, I'll start the next round. Do you guys still want to bet? Yes. Everyone said in unison. Interestingly, not only the Great Wall of Iron and Blood and Tualua Walker wanted to continue the bet, those experts who were pessimistic about Lu Chen also wanted to continue the bet. It was unknown if the listeners were being intentional or if they were already angry from embarrassment. Lu Chen's words to the Great Wall of Iron and Blood and the others were taken as a provocation by Lu Chen. This daddy lost money, and you still ask me if I want to continue? Interesting. Very good, you still want to continue? I'm afraid you won't dare to continue. Rest assured, we'll definitely continue the bet. I don't believe that you can still advance. The money I lost today, this daddy will definitely win it back. A few million isn't much. Let's have some fun today. Lu Chen frowned. These guys were so excited. He didn't even ask them, however, were they sure they wanted to continue the bet. Chapter 369. In the third match, Lu Chen was fighting in an away game, so the others could not see the battle. About 20 minutes later, Lu Chen came out of the portal. Everyone saw Nameless, full health. Boss, did you win? 10 steps shouted from below the stage. Lu Chen smiled and showed the system message he received to the others. The winner of this match is an anonymous player from District 19. Congratulations on advancing to the 4th round. You can apply for the 4th round at any time when you are ready. The betting system is calculating. You have received a total of 128,052,16 million gold coins. The reward has been sent to your backpack. My odds are still 1-6. Lu Chen shook his head and said greedily, if only it was higher. There was a sudden cheer from below the stage. Oh yeah, 50 billion became 128 billion. It more than doubled. Haha, that's great. I've made money. Boss, you are too strong. It's already the 4th round. Lu Chen smiled. It's okay. The opponent this time was quite strong. It was a monk who focused on defense. It took me 20 minutes. But boss, why are you still full health? He didn't take out your health? Lu Chen shook his head. He took out 2/3 of my health, but I drained it back. Although Lu Chen said it casually, those who knew him knew that his health was 4.2 million. 2/3 of his health would be 2.8 million. To be able to take out 2.8 million of boss's health, the opponent was very strong. Moreover, Nameless' lifesteal was only about 15%. Even if he attacked 200,000 times, he would only recover 30,000 points each time. To drain 2.8 million, how many times would he have to attack? The opponent's health and defense were amazing. As the number of matches increased, the battle became more and more difficult. Lu Chen did not think much of it. Fighting a warrior was not as dangerous as fighting the Herculean King. If he was caught by the Herculean King's black hole force field, he would not be able to take out 2/3 of his health. After a short break, 20 minutes later, Lu Chen started the fourth match. This time, Lu Chen was the host. A portal appeared on the stage and his opponent appeared. A man and a beast came out of the portal. Information of both sides. Human Galaxy Server District 19, Level 75 Anonymous Player. This server's game difficulty is currently hard. Human Galaxy Server Area 2, Level 81 Player Python King. This server's game difficulty is currently Hell Mode. The winning players will enter the 5th round. The top 8 of this round's preparatory arena. It's another Hell Mode world. Heavens, is everyone else in Hell Mode except us? Hell Mode equipment is even better. Those who aren't Hell Mode opponents have already been eliminated in the first round. It's almost impossible to see anyone who isn't Hell Mode in the 3rd round. This time, it's actually a beast tamer among spirit controllers. What kind of beast is that? It doesn't seem very ferocious. It's not that big. An old player widened his eyes and said to the Earth player beside him in shock, "Not fierce? Brother, that's Fu Dilong. He's the most troublesome baby I know. Their attacks are very high, their movements are very fast, and they can shrink the ground to attack. Moreover, their attacks have a passive effect of entanglement. Once you're entangled, your HP will drop super fast and you'll be silenced. Then, just wait for your death." It's that strong? The Earth player was shocked. Of course it's strong. If we encountered it in easy mode, we would have been wiped out. And look at its avatar. It's a dark gold avatar. This means that it's a dark gold baby. It might be a boss. Bringing a Hell Mode boss. How are we going to fight it? Beast tamers have an advantage against archers. The baby chases and bites while the master attacks from behind. He's also using the dazzling gold bow? No wonder he's the opponent for the 4th round. He's getting stronger and stronger. In the past, people guessed that Nameless might be a pugilist. In the beginning, pugilists were all melee classes. However, in Firmament City, pugilists could change classes into melee and ranged classes. Ranged classes were archers. After the Herculean King said that Nameless was an archer, people were even more certain that Nameless' main class was an archer. In the 2nd round, Lu Chen's equipment countered the Panga Herculean King. However, the tables had turned. This time, his class was countered by someone else. The Beast King frowned slightly as he looked at Lu Chen. "No way, hard mode? Kid, how did you get into the 4th round? What kind of trash did you meet in the previous rounds? I'm so lucky this time. Not only did I meet a weakling, but he's also an archer. This is a guaranteed entry into the top 8. Maybe I can get 1st place this time. Then I can. Immortal Trail Forest. I, the Beast King, am coming. When I get to the Immortal Trail Forest, I'll take the treasure and go to Divine Herbalist Valley to get more pills. From then on, my Beast King attributes will increase tremendously. Then I can go to the Azura Field and torture the weak. When the time comes, I'll use the Beast Core to evolve the Country Bumpkin into a dazzling gold pet. Then I can enter the heart-refining courtyard. My status and position will reach the peak and I'll finally win the heart of a beauty. Ha 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 ha, I'm indeed a man favored by the heavens. Lu Chen looked at his opponent in shock. This guy hadn't even entered the top 8 yet, but he was already fantasizing about something far away. Brother, wake up, can you not think so far ahead? We haven't fought yet. The Beast King put away the smile on Lu Chen's face and became serious again. He glanced at Lu Chen and said, "Fight? Do we still need to fight? Have you seen my baby? You're a weakling from a difficult world and an archer. My friend, you're fully aware of the pain now. Don't make things difficult for yourself. You're already very lucky to be able to enter the top 16. Enough is enough. I don't want to beat you up. Be good, go back and practice. Next time, try to get a good ranking." Lu Chen was speechless. This guy was here to be funny. He looked quite funny too. His head was bigger than the average human's. One look and you could tell that he was a fool. However, this person was not too aggressive. He was not like Sunset and the hot-tempered warrior from the previous round who had a sense of superiority. Forget it, thanks for the reminder. I still plan to fight for it this time. Lu Chen could only say so. During the betting session, Lu Chen's odds finally increased to 1-1. The Beast King's odds were 1-1. This seemed to be the lowest odd. Sigh, the odds are so low. I can't make much money. Boring. The Beast King shook his head. Sigh, my friend, I bet 100 gold on you. Take it as my appreciation for your unyielding spirit. Sure enough, his brain was not very bright. Finally, the betting results came out. When he saw the number behind the anonymous player, the Beast King was shocked. What the F***CK? 128 billion. What the hell is this? Could it be that you're the hope of the entire village? Lu Chen nodded helplessly. That's right. I'm the best in our village. They're betting all their money on me. The global village had become a village. Sigh, you're so stupid. You're giving money to Tianxing. You're from a lousy, difficult world. Look at all your trashy equipment. How much money can you have? Sigh. You're betting all your family's money. If you lose, won't you be scolded to death? Lu Chen could not get a word in edgewise. He could only listen to him blabber on and on. Sigh, kid. When I brought people from our world to the arena, they were the ones who volunteered to bet. In the end, after I lost, I was scolded like a dog. Even the woman I loved looked down on me. As he spoke, the Beast King suddenly became dejected. After a long while, the Beast King let out a long sigh. Kid, do you have a girl you like? The Beast King's sudden question really stunned Lu Chen. Not only was Lu Chen stunned, but the girls below the stage were also stunned. Suddenly, their hearts seemed to have stopped beating. They were more nervous than watching Nameless fight. Yes, did he have a girl he liked? Chapter 370. Lu Chen had a lot of girls around him, and each one was prettier than the other. Some were the most popular anchors, known as Jiutian's #1 beauty, some were rising stars, some were rich young ladies from the anime world, and some were like fairies from another world Lu Chen didn't know. He was here to fight in the arena, so why did they talk about personal matters? This big-headed Beast King's brain was indeed different from the average person's. Actually, I don't know. Besides, even if I like someone, that person might not like me back. Actually, in my world, I'm not very handsome. The girls below the stage were anxious. Did this guy really think that way? He was so good at guessing other people's thoughts when he played games. How could he not know when he encountered such a situation? The Beast King nodded. It's right for you to feel inferior. Anyway, I think you're quite ugly. But I think the people here are quite ugly. Their heads are so small, they're not cute at all. Brother, I'm really sorry. I really can't understand your feelings. After all, I'm still very good-looking. I don't have your troubles. The big-headed Beast King shook his head. Lu Chen was speechless. This guy actually thought he was handsome. Well, although they were all humans, there were definitely differences. Even foreigners couldn't understand the aesthetics, let alone aliens. The Beast King thought for a while and suddenly said, "Hey, brother, I'm not going to fight this match. You win." What's there to about? The top 8 is easy for me, but for you, this might be your only chance. The Beast King looked at Lu Chen sincerely. It's okay to be ugly. As long as you have a reputation and status, you still have a chance. Courageously pursue the girl you like, just like me. Even if she doesn't accept me now, I won't give up. Lu Chen looked at the Python Beast King in shock. He suddenly felt that this guy was too cute. Don't you want to win the competition, walk to the peak of life, and marry a beautiful woman? Are you sure you want to give up? Yes, your bet is too big. Once you lose, you might not be able to raise your head in your original world. I don't want to ruin you for my dreams. Besides, like I said just now, the top 8 is too easy for me. Brother, those who can enter the top 8 are all super experts. Don't place such a huge bet anymore. Alright, I choose to forfeit this match. F***ck. A living lay phone. Lu Chen was stunned. At the same time, the experts who had bet on the Beast King were also stunned. They almost collapsed. In order to recoup their losses, they had decided to make an even bigger bet this time around. Initially, when they saw that it was a beast-tamer duel, they thought that they had a good chance of winning. But to think that their hopes would be dashed in such a manner. No. I object. You can't abstain. Yes, I bet 30,000 gold coins on you. You can't just give up like that. This is a rigged match. The Beast King was about to leave, but when he heard the people below the stage shouting fiercely, he turned his head and looked at them. All of you, shut up. I despise people like you the most. If I want to forfeit, I will forfeit. What can you do about it? If you are not convinced, do you want me to come down and teach you a lesson? Lu Chen was not afraid of the Beast King, but when these experts saw the Beast King, the pressure was too great. Just his baby alone was enough to make them suffer a great deal. Not to mention that he still had the dazzling gold bow in his hands. Brother, be careful of these people. I think they are up to no good. The Beast King warned Lu Chen. Alright, I am leaving. If you have the chance, come and play with me. I will introduce you to my goddess, and let you know what it means to be as beautiful as a fairy. A big-headed beauty appeared in Lu Chen's mind, but he still felt that something was wrong. Alright, thanks. Congratulations on successfully advancing. You have entered the top 8 of this round of the arena. The betting system is settling the accounts for you. You have received 23,493,880,000 gold coins. It has been sent to your backpack. Please check it. Lu Chen's initial capital of 4.5 million was one round more than the others. Now, it had increased to 33 million. This kind of compound interest growth was too terrifying. For no reason, he was given a victory by the Beast King. Lu Chen smiled and shook his head. If there was a chance, he really wanted to see this funny guy again. By the way, do you still want to continue gambling? Lu Chen asked. Tua Lua Walker thought for a moment and said, Mr. Nameless, how about this? After all, this money was pooled by everyone. We can't make decisions on behalf of everyone. So, can you give us 40 million first? We will bet the rest of the money. That's right. This way we will earn and not lose. The Great Wall of Iron and Blood looked at the others. It seemed that they also wanted to use this method. Nameless, we also want to be steady on our side. What the Beast King said just now makes sense. If we really lose all of them, there will be too many people. At that time, there might be people who are dissatisfied with you. Of course, Lu Chen did not care. He took out 2 times their capital and distributed it to everyone. Lu Chen rounded it up. There were 100 billion players on Earth, 50 million players in the second heaven, and 30 million for himself. All of this money would continue to be bet until Lu Chen won or lost. There are still 3 matches left. Let's fight together today. In the quarterfinals, Lu Chen fought in an away game. Everyone waited here for only 10 minutes before he came out of the portal. When he came out, Lu Chen's HP was black. The corner of his mouth was full of blood. It was obvious that he had received a serious injury. Boss! Wild Waves and the others rushed to the arena. Lu Chen looked at everyone and forced a smile. Don't worry, I'm fine. I won. What? You won? Yes. Lu Chen stood up by himself. After experiencing a lot of battles, Lu Chen could already adapt to a full-pain competition. This time, Lu Chen won relatively easily. Although it seemed that he lost a lot of HP, he still had 3 lives. The opponent had equipment that made all the HP recovery effects ineffective. In order to save time, Lu Chen did not hesitate to lose a lot of HP and quickly defeated his opponent. The odds are 1-8. Hee, I've made a fortune. Nameless, why don't we stop fighting? Look at how badly injured you are, Stardust said worriedly. It's okay, it's just a small injury. I know what I'm doing. I'll be fine after some rest. Half an hour later, Lu Chen started the quarterfinals. Information of both sides. Human Galaxy Server District 19, Level 75 Player, Anonymous Player. This server's game difficulty is currently hard. Human Galaxy Server District 44, Level 84 Player, Eternal Sunset. This server's game difficulty is currently hell. Player from District 44? Lu Chen suddenly remembered that his first match was against Sunset Stars from the 44th District. This guy was also from the 44th District, and even the prefix was the same. Could it be that they were from the same guild? The opponent was tall, about 2-3 meters, and had a crouching earth dragon beside him. He had his hands behind his back and was sizing up Lu Chen. Kid, it seems like you heard my prayers. That's why you made it to the quarterfinals. The man's tone was cold and hostile. Don't doubt it. You're right. I'm the master of Sunset Stardust that you defeated in the first round. Since we've met, I'll teach you a lesson this time and avenge my disciple. Lu Chen narrowed his eyes. This guy gave off a strong vibe. Chapter 371. This time, Lu Chen's opponent was Dusk Star's master. Dusk Stars had shown his super strong combo ability during the competition and had caused Lu Chen a lot of trouble. His master's command was definitely better. If he was not careful, he might lose his life. Although Lu Chen had 3 lives, and every time he was reborn, all of his skills would be refreshed. However, his current requirement for himself was that he would never easily lose any of his lives. His opponents had always been more than just players. You are Dusk Star's master, but you are not qualified to be my master. Lu Chen looked at him coldly. Dusk Eternal snorted. Is that so? You have a cheap mouth. I will slap you later. Lu Chen frowned slightly. This guy was even more arrogant than Sunset and Stars. It's true that like disciple, like master. Since you have so little, I will not go easy on you. The audience below could also see that this match was the most tense one so far. After the bets were placed, the countdown began. 3, 2, 1, start. The moment the match started, Fu Dilong received the order to pounce on Lu Chen. As the most difficult monster to deal with, Fu Dilong's movement speed was extremely fast. The most annoying thing about it was that it could burrow into the ground. After being attacked by it, there was a high chance of being entangled. Once entangled, it would be troublesome. Lightless Sky Flame Pillar. Black Coffin Dead Zone. Fu Dilong was actually able to pass through the Lightless Sky Flame Pillar without being hit. At the same time, it continued to pounce on Lu Chen. F***CK. It dodged the Lightless Sky Flame Pillar so easily? It is too agile. That's why the bigger the baby, the better. Fu Dilong's dodging ability is too strong. Don't get targeted by it in the wild. Before the audience could react, Fu Dilong had already arrived in front of Nameless. It raised its claws and clawed at Lu Chen. However, Lu Chen's attention was not on Fu Dilong. He was paying attention to the guy standing not far away. Quick movement. Just as Lu Chen used a skill to evade Crouching Dragon, Eternal Sunset moved as well. If I knew you would use this move, I'll show you the true power of Instant Shadow. Flickering Shadow Backstab. Before Lu Chen could finish his rapid movement, Eternal suddenly disappeared. In the next moment, he had already appeared behind Lu Chen, thrusting his spear towards Lu Chen's back. Lu Chen snorted coldly. I knew you would do that. Move quickly. If you know, why are you still running? Do you think you can run? Instant shadows, unlimited suppression. Eternal's figure disappeared again and instantly caught up with Nameless, who had not stopped. Spear King, General Stab. Seeing this scene, everyone was already dumbfounded. Damn, so fast. He caught up to Brother John Doe before he even used up his quick shift? This is too exaggerated. Wait, isn't he a beast tamer? Why isn't he using a bow and arrow, but close combat instead? That guy is chasing after Brother Nameless to attack. Spear? That's not right. Isn't a spear a martial artist's weapon? Beast tamers should be a branch of spirit masters. Why would they use a long melee weapon? In Jiutian, there were no restrictions on what kind of weapon a class could use. However, the problem was that most of the Prophet's class skills required a magic staff as a medium. On the other hand, beast tamers usually used long-range weapons as a medium. Unless they gave up many of their own beast tamer class skills, who would use a spear. Wait, that's not right. Tua Lua Walker's eyes suddenly widened. His crouching dragon has hunter's sense, which means that he is definitely a beast tamer. However, his other skills are all close combat, which seems to be more compatible with pugilist's close combat skills. Could it be that he has two classes? What? Two classes? At the side, Stardust and the others looked at Tua Lua Walker in shock. How can he have two classes? Every class had its own attributes and characteristics, which were also known as class talent. For example, there were two branches of monks, the Arhat and the Buddha Seal. One was a melee super meat shield that had more outstanding HP and defense, while the other was a Buddhist mage that was similar to a prophet. Its spiritual growth, elemental affinity, and Buddhist comprehension were more outstanding. Imagine, if a person became both Arhat and Buddha Seal at the same time, would he have super high health and defense, as well as a strong Buddha Seal talent? Tua Lua Walker shook his head. I don't know the specifics, but if he really has two classes, and it's a pugilist and beast tamer, then he would be much stronger than the average player. At this time, an expert who was watching the battle coldly said, he should be a player with two classes. This kind of player was only qualified to cultivate two classes before level 100 because of a great opportunity. His strength is much stronger than the average player. Nameless is done for this time. Eternal Sunset was harder to deal with than Sunset and Stars. His use of Instant Shadow was more perfect. Every time, before Lu Chen could finish using Instant Shadow, he had already caught up with Lu Chen. What Lu Chen did not dare to underestimate was that Crouching Dragon was equally difficult to deal with. It would suddenly burst out from the ground and attack him from both sides. Instant Shadow of the Night. Flash Shot. 7 stars chasing Moon. Every time he moved, Lu Chen was instantly suppressed. He did not even have a chance to breathe. Kid, don't think that I don't know. Quickly use it when it respawns, or you won't be able to use it in the future. Spear King, Army Destroyer. With a poof, the golden spear instantly pierced through Lu Chen's right shoulder. Minus 120,000. Minus 100,000 bleeding. Debuff. Defense Break. Defense reduced by 70%, lasts for 20 seconds. Debuff. Bleeding, 1 stack loses 2. 5% of max health every second, lasts for 10 seconds. Debuff. Slow and weak, 1 stack movement speed reduced by 60%, skill damage reduced by 20%, lasts for 5 seconds. 1 spear directly added 3 debuff. At the same time, 2 of them were stacked debuff. As long as he was hit again, the effect would double again. This should be the special effect of Eternal Sunset's Golden Spear. The effect was quite overbearing. Still not using Demon King's will? Then you can only die. An expert like Eternal Sunset naturally would not let go of this opportunity. Spear King, General Stab. There was no need to say more about how terrifying this skill was. The damage was secondary. When Sunset and Stars used the combo, it started with this skill. General Stab sent him flying, followed by Flowing Cloud, Ice Dragon Pierce, Ice Seal, and then other skills. After being hit by this skill, there would be a long chain of damage. What was even more terrifying was how strong Eternal Sunset was. His previous army destroyer did not even need to stop. His spear was still in Lu Chen's shoulder, but he actually continued to stab and directly changed to General Stab. Minus 520,000. Debuff. Knocked away. However, after being knocked away, Eternal Sunset did not follow up with another attack. He stood with his spear and looked at Lu Chen, who had fallen to the ground with disdain. You dared to put away your dark armor during the battle with Stars, deliberately insulting him. Then I'll let you go this time. Now you understand, right? In front of me, you're not even trash. Everyone was shocked. Oh my god, he actually beat up Nameless to the point that he couldn't even fight back. This person is too strong. He actually dared to stop at a time like this. He's insulting Nameless. Hehe, I already said that Nameless' level is not worth mentioning in front of the super experts of other servers. Now you see, in front of a real expert, he lost like a dog. Ning Shuang could not hear anything at that moment. Her eyes were only on the man who had fallen to the side. That was her master. It was also the first time she saw her master being defeated. Master. Ning Shuang's eyes were wet. Earth's starting point was too low. They could not compete with others at first heaven. At second heaven, they could not even handle hard mode anymore. How could they compete with players at hell mode? Everyone's achievements would be affected by their environment. Unless one's strength was heaven-defying and could break this unbreakable shackle. Could he? At that moment, Nameless' eyes strangely emitted a green glow. What's going on? What's wrong with Nameless' eyes? Is this a special effect? Is it a debuff? Why is this happening? Is there a problem with the system? Why would a person's eyes emit a green glow? That's scary. Nameless, give up and go offline. No one knew why, except for Lu Chen himself, because his anger had been completely ignited. His human skin could barely cover his demonic eyes. Climbing up from the ground, Lu Chen suppressed his anger. Please, calm down. Mad God and Nameless are still useful. I can't expose myself now. However, he could not suppress his anger. His eyes were like a demon from the abyss, staring at his opponent. Suddenly, Lu Chen's lips curled up slightly, and he laughed maniacally. Ha 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 ha, good, very good. Eternal, you've made me excited. Chapter 372. It had been a long time since he had met such a strong opponent. Lu Chen's only feeling was excitement. There was no point in being invincible. Boring, lonely, lost, without a goal. If Jiutian only had 2 heavenly domains, Lu Chen might be satisfied with his current strength. However, Jiutian had 9 heavenly domains. He did not want to be a frog in a well forever. Only the strong could stimulate his potential. Only the strong could make him feel excited. Eternal Sunset was such a strong person. Eternal Sunset frowned slightly. After his disciple Sunset Stars was defeated, he was depressed and wanted to avenge his master. However, this person was getting stronger and stronger. Was this the difference between the two of them? I admire your fighting spirit. Unfortunately, in the face of absolute strength, anger is useless. Eternal Sunset's face was as calm as still water. Lu Chen cracked a smile. You might be mistaken about one thing. Do you really think you can beat me? No, you just made the competition more interesting. You're still so stubborn when you're about to die. Next time, I won't go easy on you. So much nonsense. Let's fight and we'll know. Lu Chen held the dazzling gold bow and stood up straight. He cracked his neck and looked at Eternal Sunset. Are you ready? I can wait for your infinite suppression to cool down. Eternal Sunset snorted. Arrogant. What, are you worried that my infinite suppression has a limit? Don't worry, you won't live to see that day. Let me shatter your confidence. Instant shadows, infinite suppression. Spear King, Army Destroyer. Keep running for your life. I like to see you run for your life like a stray dog. For some reason, Nameless did not use any movement skills to dodge. He was staring at Eternal, who had already disappeared. What's going on? Why isn't Boss dodging? Maybe the high-intensity battle just now has slowed down Boss's reaction. Their battle is too fast. Every time, it's only a fraction of a second. You have to focus all your attention. But this time, Boss's reaction is really slow. To Alua Walker frowned. Nameless did not dodge? Actually, in a situation where he didn't have a higher level of movement technique, it didn't seem to make any difference whether he dodged or not. Could it be that he had to face it head-on? However, the overbearing aspect of Shadow Flash was that the moment the skill was activated, Eternal Shadow could attack. When infinite suppression arrived in front of the opponent, the attack would be completed. The combination of Great Gunner and Shadow Flash was enough to suffocate a person. Dodging in advance was useless, not to mention that the opponent had already used infinite suppression. Nameless had yet to make a move. Looks like he lost. The moment Eternal appeared in front of Lu Chen, his spear had already pierced towards him. But at this critical moment, Lu Chen suddenly moved. Rapid movement. His spear had firmly pierced empty air. Eternal stared at Lu Chen, who had appeared in the distance, in disbelief. He then looked at the empty space before him, shock filling his face. In the past, Nameless could also dodge his skills. However, because Nameless dodged in a hurry every time, Eternal had enough time to decide whether to stab her or not. However, this time, he thought that he would definitely hit, so he fully activated the skill. In the end, he stabbed Nameless. Little May looked at the dazed Eternal Shadow strangely and asked her brother, "Brother, why do I feel that Eternal's movement is so big this time? He's stunned?" Ingjun frowned. It's the same dodging, but the two times are completely different. One is a random dodging, the other is an opportunistic dodging. In other words, Boss has already calculated the time and position of infinite suppression. He also calculated the short time difference between Great Gunner's spear and infinite suppression. This time difference? Is there? I feel that it's completely coherent. There is. If there isn't, Boss won't be able to dodge. It's just that the time difference is only a few tenths of a second. Stardust shook his head. If this isn't a coincidence, then, Boss, he's too strong. Tualua Walker shook his head and sighed. Once the Army Destroyer hits, it'll be a series of attacks. It might even be able to kill Nameless instantly. However, Nameless dared to use such a method to dodge the enemy's attack. Alright, I admit that I only saw his equipment and the advantage of his skills. However, this time, I'm impressed by his calculation, prediction, and mentality. Eternal kept his spear and turned to look at Lu Chen. You dodged it just now, didn't you? Otherwise, if you really have such reflexes, you should have attacked when I paused. It's because you weren't sure if you could dodge it that you wasted this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Lu Chen smiled. If I'm not wrong, Crouching Dragon should be right beside you. If I attacked just now, I would have been attacked by it. I might have been entangled. Eternal's expression didn't change. This guy actually took Crouching Dragon into consideration. However, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I've already broken your instant shadow. Without this skill, you've already lost. Arrogant. I'd like to see how you're going to break my instant shadow. Instant shadow, unlimited suppression. Spear King, General Stab. Lu Chen still didn't move. Although Eye of the Gods was useless against Eternal, he could still predict Crouching Dragon's location. At this moment, Crouching Dragon was moving rapidly underground, heading towards him. If not for Crouching Dragon, Lu Chen would have definitely attacked Eternal. It seemed that Eternal and Crouching Dragon's coordination was like heaven and earth. If he wanted to kill Eternal, he would have to kill Crouching Dragon first. You like to dig underground, right? Lu Chen snorted coldly as he calculated his opponent's attack. Now's the time. Underground magma. Rapid movement. Before rapid movement, Lu Chen activated another skill. The location of the skill was right below where he was originally standing. The ground trembled and cracked. Magma spewed out from the ground like a volcanic eruption. However, this wasn't the main point. The main point was that the enemy at the core of the magma would be stunned. Crouching Dragon, who was underground, would also be exposed along with the magma. For example, Crouching Dragon and Eternal. Oh my god, he's stunned? How is this possible? Everyone was shocked. One is underground and the other can't even see his figure. How can he predict that he'll be stunned? This isn't a problem of prediction because there's no way to predict it. This is a result of precise calculation and understanding of the opponent's mind. Eternal was originally confident that Instant Shadow could definitely dodge a skill like Underground Magma. However, the problem was that he had only seen the match between Lu Chen and Sunset and Stars. He didn't know that Lu Chen had such a skill. What was even more frightening was that the opponent's timing was so precise. He had also dodged his General Stab in less than a second. He had even used this AoE stun skill before. -73,000, -40,000 burning damage. The initial damage of Underground Magma wasn't high. After all, Lu Chen didn't convert it into a spiritual attack. However, Lu Chen only wanted the stun effect. I heard that you like to go with it? Lu Chen said calmly. What a coincidence, I like it too. Chapter 373. You want to insta-kill me? Let me tell you clearly that it's impossible. Eternal Sunset didn't know if he was pretending to be stupid, or if he was deliberately provoking Lu Chen. Lu Chen snorted. 3 seconds? What a joke. You think you can last more than 1 second? After saying that, Lu Chen actually put away his weapon and took out the Raging Flame's wishful staff. Shadow of the Night. Basic attack. -50,000 damage reduction. 50,000, pet health transfer. 70,000. It had to be said that Eternal Sunset had the right to be arrogant. At this time, everyone saw Eternal Sunset's health points. This guy had 1,800,000 health points. Although his level was higher than Lu Chen's, it was still far from Lu Chen's 4,200,000 health points. However, it was still much higher than the average player. It seemed that this guy also had some kind of adventure. Not only did he unlock 2 professions, but his attributes were also much higher than the average person's. Pugilists had a very strong damage reduction talent and a high critical hit resistance. If combined with the equipment's special effects, Lu Chen's critical hit rate was over 100%, but he did not manage to land a critical hit. A monster tamer's pet could help their master take a lot of damage. With these 2 damage reduction effects stacked together with the defensive effect brought by high attributes, Lu Chen's 240,000 plus physical attack only dealt around 50,000 to 60,000 damage. Ha 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 ha, are you surprised? Are you surprised? Your attack is ridiculously high, but in my opinion, it's just a scratch. You want to insta-kill me in 3 seconds? With your damage, you can't kill me without 30 seconds of continuous control. And you want to insta-kill me in 1 second? Dream on. However, before Sunset Eternal could finish his sentence, his HP bar suddenly collapsed. 300,000 poisoned damage reduction, 300,000 pet health transfer, 520,000 minus 300,000 poisoned damage reduction, 300,000 pet health transfer, 520,000. Before the smile on Eternal Sunset's face completely disappeared, he was petrified. Not only Eternal Sunset, but the others were also dumbfounded. What is this thing? Even with so much damage reduction, he still lost 600,000 health points in an instant. 300,000, 300,000, 520,000. That's 1,120,000 poison damage? Is this a joke? Nameless Bro also has 1 million poison damage? Doesn't that mean he's the same as Mad God, able to insta-kill a sky-piercing boss? 10 Steps casual remark caught Tua Lua Walker's attention. What did you say about Mad God? Ah? Oh, Mad God insta-killed a heavenly domain boss, what's wrong? Instant kill a heavenly domain boss? A first heaven domain boss? What other heaven domain boss could there be? It's an instant kill? Yeah, I killed him in 1 move. Puff. The representative of the second heaven and the group of experts who were eavesdropping at the side all spat out blood. Killed in 1 move? That's impossible. Why not? It was broadcasted live all over the world. We all saw it with our own eyes. Hey, let's watch our boss fight in the arena. What Mad God? Let's talk about that later. Let's watch the competition first. However, the group of people seemed to have lost their souls. 10 Steps' words kept echoing in their minds. It was the same heavenly domain boss. The other teams had made all kinds of preparations in advance, pushed themselves to the limit, and faced all kinds of dangers. In the end, the solipsistic team had insta-killed the heavenly domain boss? What a joke. Lu Chen's normal attack was a 3-hit combo. This was only the first attack, but it had already taken 650,000 HP from Eternal Sunset. The next 2 combo attacks had taken another 1,300,000 HP. A simple normal attack had insta-killed the super expert Eternal Sunset. Eternal Sunset's body was in intense pain, but he was kneeling on the ground and had no time to care about the pain. He had really been insta-killed. With his damage reduction and pet life transfer, how could he be insta-killed? Lu Chen coldly looked at Eternal Sunset. Now it's my turn to ask you, are you surprised? I said I could insta-kill you, so I can definitely insta-kill you. Against someone like you, I don't even need to use my full strength. Eternal Sunset raised his head. He was filled with anger, but when he saw Lu Chen's calm expression, his anger turned into despair. That calm expression was too familiar. Didn't he always have that expression in the past? That was a sign of having a well-thought-out card up his sleeve. Under what circumstances would one be so confident? Only when one had a trump card would they be so confident. That guy still had a trump card. He wasn't lying, he was just playing. Impossible, impossible your damage can't be so high. I have 2 professions, I have received guidance from an immortal, my attributes are higher than the average person's. It has always been me insta-killing others, no one can insta-kill me. Also you can't break my infinite suppression. In fact, the real deciding factor of this match was Lu Chen breaking infinite suppression. Without breaking it, he couldn't even take care of himself. How could he turn the tables? Lu Chen shook his head. It seemed that this defeat was too big of a blow for Eternal Sunset. That's because you haven't met a strong opponent yet, Lu Chen said calmly. Defeating Eternal Sunset did not make him feel happy at all. Do you really think you're my opponent? Previously, I just wanted to see if I could break your infinite suppression. Infinite suppression is indeed very strong, so strong that it's beyond my imagination. But after the battle with Eternal Sunset, I've already thought of a way to deal with it. Eternal Sunset's face was filled with disbelief. He really broke infinite suppression? Impossible, you must have been lucky. You only had a simple prediction and luck. You couldn't have avoided infinite suppression. Lu Chen smiled slightly. As long as a person is using it, there will be a loophole. Infinite suppression can suppress low-quality movement. It seems unbreakable, I can't dodge it no matter how I try, but it doesn't mean that this skill is unbreakable. How did you break it? Lu Chen said calmly. My movement is not as good as yours, but my reaction is not slower than yours. So I didn't use my movement to dodge, I relied on my reaction to dodge. Since the purpose of your infinite suppression is to get close, then I'll let you get close. But after you get close, your ultimate goal is still to attack, and you will definitely leave a gap, giving yourself a chance to adjust your attack. This gap is the only chance I have to dodge. At the same time, when I can accurately calculate this gap, I can use the magma to stun you. Eternal Sunset was speechless. Nameless words were exactly what he had been thinking at that time. Even if he attacked before infinite suppression, in order to ensure that his attack was effective, he had to give himself some time to react before he attacked. In the end, this reaction time of a fraction of a second was the only flaw in the perfect combination of Instant Shadow and Gun King. The person on the other side had made use of this flaw to complete the dodge and backhand control. It's just that you are more skilled at infinite suppression than your disciple, and the gap between the skills is almost negligible, so I still fell for it the first time. Lu Chen seemed to be unsatisfied with his performance, shaking his head. Although you can't kill me instantly, it seems that I still underestimated my opponent. I have to be more careful in the future. Lu Chen was deeply reflecting on his mistakes, but the group of people below the stage did not dare to speak for a long time. Is this the awareness of a god? He still thinks that his performance is not good? Sorry, why do I feel that the boss is showing off when he is reflecting? Indeed, I can't understand this at all. Big brother, you killed him instantly, and you still say that your performance is not good. Is it appropriate? Chapter 374. Sunset Eternal was finally speechless. He sighed and stood up reluctantly. I've met many strong players, and some made me feel powerless. However, no one was like you, breaking my infinite suppression head-on. I lost. I admit that you're a terrifying opponent. However, don't be too proud. I'll remember today's humiliation. One day, I'll come back for revenge. Lu Chen frowned slightly. This guy was really competitive. Next time, I'll make you pay me back double. Lu Chen pursed his lips. Maybe there won't be a next time. Why? Lu Chen shrugged. To be honest, this competition isn't that interesting. Sunset Eternal's expression was a little ugly. Not interesting? Kid, you really live up to your name. However, don't be too arrogant. Do you know who you're going to face in the next round? When Sunset Eternal said this, Lu Chen was also stunned. He had used the ID Solipsistic in the first round. Sunset Eternal naturally knew his real identity, which was why he said, live up to your name. However, the people below the stage did not seem to understand. Lu Chen immediately answered and diverted everyone's attention. Isn't it random? You don't know either. Of course I know, because I've already fought it more than 10 times. Eternal said. In the previous arena, my opponents were all players from other districts. However, in the last round, my opponent is not a player. Everyone knows that there's a treasure in the Fairy Trail Forest, but they can't see it. That thing is like a mountain in front of all the players. It can't be crossed, or at least, I don't know anyone who has defeated it. Lu Chen frowned slightly. It sounds a bit interesting. Sunset Eternal snorted. Interesting? It doesn't matter. Anyway, it's the last round. All the players in the arena can watch. I'll see if you can still be so arrogant when you meet it. At this time, the results of the competition were out. The winner of this competition is an anonymous player from District 19. Congratulations on advancing to the finals. You can apply for the competition at any time when you're ready. The betting system is calculating. You have received a total of 126 million gold coins. The reward has been sent to your backpack. What was different from before was that the system gave him an additional notification. Your next opponent will be the NPC guarding the preparatory arena, the Immortal Slaughtering Poison Master. Immortal Slaughtering Poison Master, disciple of Supreme Spiritual Martial Apothecary. Supreme Spiritual Martial Apothecary is a Stage 2 Heaven Domain boss in Purgatory difficulty. Purgatory difficulty. This difficulty is not listed in the level up list. It can be activated by completing a legendary hidden mission. You can ask the mountain man for the specific method. Lu Chun froze for a moment, and then almost spat out a mouthful of blood. The system finally gave Master Spiritual Martial Apothecary's information, but this information was a little too much. He knew that Master Spiritual Martial Apothecary would be very strong, but he didn't think that Master Spiritual Martial Apothecary had already become a Stage 2 Heaven Domain boss. Moreover, he wasn't an ordinary boss. He was a Heaven Domain boss that would only appear in Purgatory difficulty. Then what level was Purgatory difficulty? Lu Chun still remembered that after Hard mode, it should be Hell mode. As for Purgatory difficulty, he didn't know if it was the next level after Hell mode. Damn, Louis, you're too much of a scammer. So the mission I promised you was to kill a Stage 2 Purgatory boss? I was only a Stage 1 immature youth back then, and you gave me such a difficult mission. Is it appropriate? Damn, NPCs are also full of tricks. It seemed that Master Spiritual Martial Apothecary would have to be put aside for now. However, Lu Chun could now meet the Immortal Slaughtering Poison Master. Since he was a disciple, he could at least understand Master Spiritual Martial Apothecary's strength. Speaking of which, Eternal Sunset had just said that there was a treasure hidden in the Immortal Trail Forest. Actually, Lu Chun was quite ashamed when he heard that because he didn't know. In that case, Lu Chun was a little impatient. Eternal had already left through the portal, but Lu Chun still hadn't left the arena. The people below the arena saw that Lu Chun was resting and seemed to have guessed what he was going to do. "Boss, don't tell me you're going to continue the challenge?" 10 Steps shouted from below. "Why don't you take a break and come back tomorrow? It's the final round, so you have to be in good condition." "Yeah, didn't Eternal say that the next opponent would be a super strong NPC? He couldn't beat it even after 10 tries. Why don't you take a break first?" Lu Chun smiled at these people. "It's okay, I'll go home early for dinner after this." "Big brother, it's the final round, and you're only thinking about going home for dinner." Half an hour later, Lu Chun adjusted himself to his best condition and started the final round of the arena. Many players in District 79, District 44, and District 2 received a system message at the same time. Galaxy Server District 19 player, Anonymous Player, has issued the final challenge to the Reserve Arena's Ultimate Guardian, Celestial Poison Master. Pay 10 gold coins to watch the match live. Lu Chun made a lot of money from Jiutian's gambling function, but they also had their own way of making money. 10 gold coins per person in a Galaxy server was definitely not a small amount. District 19? The Berserk Python Beast King was farming in the wild. After receiving the message, it was suddenly stunned and was bitten by a wild monster. F***CKU, Country Bumpkin, I'll leave it to you. The Beast King didn't care about the wild monster and checked his previous battle information. "It's really that guy. No way," He actually made it to the final round? Is this the power of love? Pangu Beast King from District 49 was buying mixed energy pills in the city. After receiving the message, he immediately paid 10 gold coins. No way, that guy made it to the final round? A guy from a difficult server actually made it to the final round? Sunset Eternal and Sunset Stars also immediately joined the live broadcast. Master, he made it to the final round. That guy is very strong. I underestimated him. However, it's impossible for him to win against Poison Master Celestial. The key is to see what other skills he has. I lost to his group control skill before. Countless players joined the live broadcast. Of course, although the players from District 19 were poor, they had just earned a lot of money and could still afford it. One after another, they joined the live broadcast. Boss is going to fight the final boss. I'm so nervous. Damn, look, the number of people watching the live broadcast. How many billions are there? Motherf asterisk Kerr, there are so many zeros. Are so many people watching? And they're all aliens who are different from us. Lu Yi was extremely nervous. It was not convenient for her to call Lu Chen brother in front of others, but she was still Lu Chen's sister after all. Naturally, she was more nervous than anyone else. She didn't expect that one day, her brother would stand in the middle of the galaxy and become the center of attention of billions of people. Brother, do your best. I believe in you. You will always be the brother that I am most proud of. The competition venue was an open plain that stretched as far as the eye could see. There was only a gentle breeze caressing the green waves. The blue sky was particularly clear, the white clouds were leisurely, and the breeze was gentle. It was difficult for people to associate such a beautiful scenery with the fierce battle that was about to happen. Lu Chen took a deep breath of fresh air and looked at the figure sitting cross-legged in midair in the distance. He slowly walked over. Okay, Poison Master Celestial, right? Don't let me down. Chapter 375. Everyone's attention was attracted by the figure. That's the immortal slaughtering Poison Master? He looks so cool, floating in midair? It's more than cool. He's super strong, okay? I haven't seen any challengers that can last more than 30 seconds against him. Is Poison Master a branch of pharmacists? That's right, pharmacists are divided into doctors and poison masters. Of course, there are also people who practice both medicine and poison, but you should know that pursuing the peak of one ability is the strongest. How long can that nameless last? Who knows, he can't last more than 30 seconds. The outside world was discussing, but Lu Chen couldn't hear it at all. He finally walked in front of that person. As Lu Chen entered the arena, the system also showed the information of both parties. Information of both parties. Human Galaxy Server District 19, Level 75 Anonymous Player. This server's game difficulty is currently hard. Human Galaxy Server District 2, Reserve Arena Guardian, Immortal Slaughtering Poison Master, Level 90. At this moment, Immortal Slaughtering Poison Master finally opened his eyes. He glanced at Lu Chen. So, the person who is going to die in my hands is you? Lu Chen sneered. You're much more humorous than the other bosses. Where's your master? Immortal Slaughtering Poison Master's eyes were filled with killing intent. What right do you have to ask my master? Oh, nothing much. I just wanted to tell him that it's time for him to pay back the debt he owed in the first heaven. Immortal Slaughtering Poison Master's eyes were filled with killing intent. What do you know? What I know isn't the main point. The main point is, does he know what debt he owes? Whether I know or not, it doesn't affect his knowledge. Lu Chen felt that he had said a bunch of tongue twisters. However, he didn't want to say it out loud. After all, there were a lot of people watching the live broadcast, and he didn't want people to know too much about his strength. Lu Chen's words became even more grating in Immortal Slaughtering Poison Master's ears. He was almost certain that this guy had Lu Yi's mission. Very good, you're really not afraid of death. Alright, then I'll have to make you give up on this idea. Since you probably won't have the chance to hear my advice later, I'll tell you right now that you can't afford to offend a poison master. Lu Chun pursed his lips and turned to look at his opponent coldly. I'm sorry, but not only will I provoke you, I'll also kill you. Arrogant. Looks like I'll have to torture you to death today. Lu Chun smiled. Please do your best. Otherwise, I will be disappointed. No one could understand why the immortal slaughtering poison master this time was different from the previous ones. The poison master immortal slaughtering poison master today was more murderous than ever before. He must have angered the NPC. F***CK, how did he do it? Even the immortal slaughtering poison master has never been so serious. Is he going all out? That guy still doesn't know how powerful the immortal slaughtering poison master is. He is still laughing foolishly. He will suffer in a while. It's all pain. After being poisoned, it's no joke. It's definitely like riding a roller coaster. As they talked, the duel was about to begin. Finally, the people stopped talking. Everyone who was watching the match began to focus on the two people in the arena. When the countdown ended and the match began, the immortal slaughtering poison master had already made his move. Corrosive poison array. The originally clean world was suddenly filled with a black fog. The moment Lu Chun came into contact with the poison array, his HP dropped. -1 million. Seeing this damage, everyone covered their mouths in shock. That can't be, this guy has never used this skill before. 1 million damage per second. I'll be instantly killed if I go in. Oh my god, this is too scary. Is this an AoE continuous damage? Who can withstand 1 million damage from the poison? The key is that there is no way to dodge. That guy's HP is also very high. He has 3,600,000 HP, but it can only last for 4 seconds. Currently, Lu Chun had not activated Wargood's possession and demon transformation. His HP was 600,000 less than his peak. The corrosive poison array had a wide range. It was like an enhanced version of the Black Coffin Dead Zone. Its damage was also very high. Lu Chen's brain buzzed, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. After being poisoned, his body felt uncomfortable. However, Lu Chen did not have time to think about this. Debuff. Corrosive defense decreases by 10% every second. Even he was shocked. Not only was the poison attack high, but it also had a debuff. Well, he was wrong. The corrosive poison array was much stronger than the Black Coffin Dead Zone. In 10 seconds, his defense would be depleted. At the same time, he would suffer a huge amount of poison damage. Even he could not withstand this poison damage. Wargood's possession, demon transformation, blood sacrifice shield. Lu Chen did not dare to hold back. He hurriedly summoned all his HP recovery skills. Currently, blood sacrifice shield could provide 9 million HP. In addition to his own 4,200,000 HP, he could last for 14 seconds at most. 1 second had already passed. There were 13 seconds left. 13 seconds to kill the immortal slaughtering poison master. He could not hold back anymore. Demon Doppelganger. Demon King's Will, refresh. Demon Doppelganger. Night Shadow. Earth Chasm. 10 Doppelganger and 30 Doppelganger appeared in front of the immortal slaughtering poison master. Under the chaotic attacks, even the immortal slaughtering poison master would have to kneel. However, when all the Doppelganger attacked at the same time, the immortal slaughtering poison master's body turned into a cloud of smoke and dissipated. Lu Chen was confused. What kind of technique was this? Everyone was also at a loss. What's going on? Was that an illusion? Or a puppet master's doppelganger? No, it's not. This is... A powerful poison master widened his eyes in shock. Impossible, he has already cultivated to. Brother, can you not be so slow? What level did he cultivate to? I'm so anxious. Believe it or not, I'll beat you to death if you stop. He cultivated to the star poison body. The star poison body can fuse the body with poison. In other words, that mist is not an illusion, not a doppelganger, not a puppet. That is his real body. Pooh! The spectators at the side spat out a mouthful of blood. It can't be. If his real body is the poison mist, how can we fight? That's right. I used to know that the immortal slaughtering poison master was strong, but now it seems that he hasn't shown his true strength at all. And don't forget, that kid is still suffering a huge amount of damage every second. Even if his shield is strong, he won't be able to last long. Alright. What's there to say? I already said that he won't be able to pass the level. Immortal Trail Forest is a place that only immortals can go. Let's just give up. In the arena, the battle was still ongoing. Ha, you want to kill me? I'll stand here and let you hit me. You can't hit me at all. You want to die too slowly, right? Let me help you again. Underworld River of Forgetfulness Water. This water wasn't liquid water. It existed in the form of gas. Lu Chen couldn't dodge at all and was hit directly. Minus 230,000 water poison, debuff. Lose 230,000 HP every second, lasts for 15 seconds. Debuff. Any technique that uses spiritual energy can cause the water poison to flare up. The damage is the sum of all the water poison accumulated before. Lasts for 15 seconds. In other words, if a technique that consumes pure spiritual energy is used before the water poison disappears, for example, at 14 seconds, there will be another water poison explosion, accumulating 3 million plus damage. Seeing this skill, everyone was shocked beyond words. Oh my god, is this a poison master? This is too terrifying. Chapter 376. 11 seconds. With the bow in his hand and the arrow on the string, Lu Chen closed his eyes and accepted the feedback from the Eye of the Gods. Sometimes what the eyes saw might not be the truth, and now he needed the ability of the Eye of the Gods. Inside the corrosive poison array, black gas surrounded him, but there was no immortal poison master. Ha, you can't even find my body. So what if you have a dazzling gold bow? You want to touch my master with just the likes of you? An ant dares to think of a god? What a joke, what a joke. In my poison array, just wait for death. Lu Chen closed his eyes and turned a deaf ear to the immortal poison master's mockery. What he needed now was to concentrate. The star-level poison body could actually fuse with poison and turn the body into a poisonous fog. Then in this situation, how should he attack? Lu Chen's mind was spinning. If he wanted to fight this guy, a single attack wouldn't be enough. He had to use a group attack. Currently, Lu Chen's most powerful group attack was the Abyss Dragon Crystal Bow's surpassing shot. Although the range wasn't very large and could only attack 100 units, it could at least cover a certain area. Where are you? Lu Chen carefully relied on the Eye of the Gods to observe the changes in the surrounding black fog. Soon, he found a detail. The black fog in the corrosive poison array was basically evenly distributed, but an unknown black fog seemed to be slightly thicker than other places. Where is it? Lu Chen frowned and stepped into the Qian Kuan position. The dazzling gold bow in his hand was fully drawn. The super long-range shot required 10 seconds of preparation time. Lu Chen was already accumulating a large amount of spiritual energy in this arrow. The arrow was pointed at the place where the black fog was thicker. Many players watching the live broadcast were puzzled. Sunset Stars frowned. No way, he found the location of the immortal poison master? Is the magic treasure beside him the Eye of the Gods? His master was knowledgeable and said, "It's not an ordinary Eye of the Gods. It should be the Eye of the Gods, the upgraded version of the Eye of the Gods. That thing is extremely difficult to get, even I didn't get it. I didn't expect that guy to have it." The eye of the dark gods can see what humans can't. It seems like he found the immortal slaughtering poison master. But soon after, Sunset Eternal shook his head and said, "That's not right. The eye of the dark gods shouldn't be able to find it. In order to beat the immortal slaughtering poison master, I bought many videos of past experts. There was once a super expert who forced the immortal slaughtering poison master to reveal his star-grade poison body. At that time, he also tried to use the eye of the dark gods, but in the end, he still couldn't break the star-grade poison body. That kid's HP won't last more than 10 seconds. That means he's dead for sure." Eternal Sunset didn't speak again. He naturally didn't want Lu Chen to win. However, he also hoped that Lu Chen would be able to break through the immortal slaughtering poison master's star-level poison body. This way, he would be able to gain some experience when challenging others in the future. Lu Chen's HP dropped like crazy. More and more blood seeped out of the corner of his mouth, and it could no longer be stopped. In Phantom Valley, Lu Chen had received the 100 poison body as a reward. However, even though it was also a type of physique, the star-grade poison body was obviously stronger than Lu Chen's 100 poison body. It completely suppressed his 100 poison body. He maintained the starting position of super long-range shooting, but the blood at the corner of his mouth had already dripped down and scattered into the black fog with the wind. However, Lu Chen was still as unmoving as a mountain. Focus, incomparable focus, extreme focus. This arrow, either live or die. Ha 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 ha, stop pretending. You can't find me at all. Your bow is trash in front of me. How does it feel to wait for death like this? I'm even too lazy to make a move. Watching you die in despair like this makes me even more excited. Remember my words. Never be arrogant in front of me. Obediently wait for your death. Lu Chen's HP could only last for 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Super long-range shooting had already accumulated 70%, 80%, 90%, 99%. Just 1 second before it finished accumulating, Lu Chen suddenly moved. 7 stars chasing the moon. 7 stars chasing the moon had a total of 7 segments. In the middle of each segment there was 0.1 seconds of invincibility. During this 0.7 seconds of invincibility, Lu Chen was like a headless fly. He raised his bow and moved wildly in all directions. Ha 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 ha, are you trying to stall for more time? You really won't shed a tear until you see the coffin. But the more you struggle, the more excited I am. I really like to see you make such a meaningless struggle before you die. However, the moment Lu Chen stopped, the corner of his mouth slightly raised. Sorry, I'm different from you. I like to see you not knowing that you're about to die before you die. Lu Chen suddenly turned around and shot the strongest arrow toward the area behind him where the black fog was thinnest. Super long-range shooting. Break for me. Since it was a formation, it needed to be set up to provide a continuous supply of pure spiritual energy. As long as he severely injured or killed the immortal slaughtering poison master, the corrosive poison array would definitely break. After shooting the strongest arrow, Lu Chen did not dare to stay for a moment. Wishful clone. Devil's clone. Demon King's will, refresh. Wishful clone, devil's clone. He fought for another 0.8 seconds of invincibility, and this 0.8 seconds was enough for the arrow to hit the target. With a loud bang, the entire battlefield seemed to have collapsed, and the ground was blown up by the black light, creating a huge crater. Everywhere was chaotic, and sand and stones were flying everywhere. Even the players who were watching the livestream could feel the unparalleled power of the arrow and the deafening sound it made. The super long-distance shot that could hit a target 10,000 meters away contained tremendous power. When it hit a target at such a close distance, the aftershock produced was even stronger than many high-explosive close combat techniques. He shot the arrow. What a powerful arrow! What is its attack power? But why did he shoot the arrow in that direction? Did he find the immortal slaughtering poison master? That's impossible. Too many questions flashed through countless people's minds until the scene gave them the answer. The entire area that was filled with the black corrosive poison fog dissipated. The corrosive poison array was broken. However, at the same time, Lu Qin used his technique, and the poison of water broke out. -2,700,000, poison of water break. Xiao Min. Got it, boss. Possession will save you from death. The last damage was blocked by Xiao Min. At this time, Lu Qin only had 70,000 HP left. With 2 million and 8 million plus blood sacrifice shield, he only had 70,000 HP left. His HP bar could not be any lower. At this time, a damage number appeared from the crater. -1,330,000. Countless people were so shocked that they were speechless. He really hit the target. Impossible, how is it possible? This is impossible. How did he do it? Who can tell me how he found the immortal slaughtering poison master? Didn't they say that even the dark eyes of the gods couldn't find the immortal slaughtering poison master? How did he hit the immortal slaughtering poison master? This doesn't make sense. At this time, countless questions flashed through the minds of countless players. Chapter 377. The corrosive poison array was broken, and the poison of water also broke out at once. Lu Qin did not lose his first life. However, he could not rest at this time. Switching to the wishful staff and devil's blade, Lu Qin rushed to the deep pit. In the deep pit, the immortal slaughtering poison master's face was full of blood and shock. At this time, Lu Qin had already arrived. Now you can't run away, right? 88 million HP? That's not enough. Forget it, I'm a little tired today. I'll finish you off early. Lu Qin sneered. How did you find me? Lu Qin was too lazy to answer his question. Dragon Blood Boil. He directly activated the skill. Dragon Blood Boil, the special effect of the dark gold-black dragon necklace. After active use, lose 80% of the current HP and gain the Dragon Blood Boil state, all damage increased by 80%. This state can coexist with Death Trap. Death Trap was very strong, but Lu Qin did not dare to use it now. After all, it would cost him 20% of his total HP. He now only had 1/60th of his total HP left. How could he use 20%? However, Dragon Blood Boil was different. The loss was the current HP. The lower the HP, the better the cost-effectiveness. Now was undoubtedly the best time to use it. Quick move, fierce tiger descends the mountain. Don't think that you can kill me after hitting me once. Why don't you take a look at your health bar? You'll die if I touch you. Unfortunately, I'm afraid you won't have a chance to touch me. Lu Qin's large number of clones had already arrived in front of him. A poison master, no matter how strong his poison attack was, did not want to be approached by a melee profession, let alone Lu Qin. Suddenly, more than 30 clones attacked the immortal slaughtering poison master. A large number of damage floated above the immortal slaughtering poison master's head, and many abnormal statuses were crazily refreshed. Critical hit, silence, mana burn, speed reduction, lifesteal, stun, speed reduction, critical hit. Although the immortal slaughtering poison master was immune to Lu Qin's poison attack, he was not immune to physical attack. He was unreasonably beaten by the clones and had no chance to wake up. Seeing this scene, Sunset Star's eyes almost popped out. My God, what kind of monster is that guy? The boss couldn't wake up because of him? Don't bosses have all sorts of resistances? Master, that guy, isn't he an archer? Why do I feel that he is more powerful in close combat than when he is using a bow? Could it be that he also had two professions? Is he also a pugilist? This I don't know either. Even a pugilist wouldn't have such high critical strike, stun, lifesteal, silence, mana burn. What the hell is this? How many passives does he have? There was no doubt that from now on, no one would want this madman to get close to them. It was simply too horrible to look at. It was one thing to be beaten black and blue by a group of clones, but the key was that he didn't even have a chance to fight back. After being stunned for an infinite amount of time, his mana was still being burned. It was as if his spirit core was leaking out. His pure spiritual energy was being drained and his blood was being sucked away. This scene was simply painful to watch. Raging flame slash. Then, he added a burning effect. Unknowingly, Lu Chen had absorbed more than 1 million blood. Put them to death. Lu Chen didn't hesitate and directly wasted more than 800,000 blood. Put them to death, the special effect of the dark gold-black dragon necklace. After actively using it, 20% of the maximum HP would be lost, and 1% HP would be lost every second thereafter. At the same time, he would gain the status, put them to death. For every 1% HP lost, his attack speed would increase by 4%. Losing 40,000 HP per second was perfectly offset by Lu Chen's lifesteal. Now that he had lost a total of 90% HP, his attack speed increased by 360%. Suddenly, Lu Chen's original body was crazier than the other clones. It was as if he was convulsing. His attack speed was extremely fast. Swish, 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 swish. Several attacks per second. This time, the immortal slaughtering poison master had no chance to wake up. Oh my god, this guy's damage is too high. And this attack speed, what the hell is this? I'm actually starting to feel like the immortal slaughtering poison master of the same generation. A boss being beaten up like this by a player. Does he not care about his reputation? Damn, I thought that guy was already a super strong archer. Now I realize that I was wrong. He's even stronger in close combat. A close combat archer. It's better not to meet this person in the future. The wild python beast king looked at the berserk Lu Chen in shock, his jaw almost dropping. No way, big brother, you're actually so strong. Thinking about how he had let this guy win a round, the wild python beast king really wanted to find a hole to crawl into. This kid, he didn't even say anything. I let him win a round, and he accepted it calmly. Really? I hope no one bought the battle video of that round, or else it'll be really embarrassing. Even the immortal slaughtering poison master could not withstand such a beating. Not long after, the immortal slaughtering poison master was finally killed, but he still had a little HP left. The system had already given the result. The winner of this competition is an anonymous player from District 19. Congratulations on winning first place in this preparatory arena. You will receive the title King of the Arena and the qualification to enter the Immortal Trail Forest. Lu Chen shook his head and quietly looked at the longest title in the character panel. Another prefix. Well, fortunately, that ID did not have to be displayed. Finally, I finished the arena in 2 days. I've wasted a lot of time here. The group of people who were watching the livestream was speechless. This guy only fought for 2 days? Is he sure he's from the hard level server? This guy, even if he reaches the hard level, he'll definitely be a top-notch existence. Of course, how long has it been since someone defeated the immortal slaughtering poison master? Moreover, the immortal slaughtering poison master hasn't used corrosive poison array and water poison for a long time. As long as he uses those two skills, basically no one can beat him. Speaking of which, how did he find the immortal slaughtering poison master? The betting system is calculating. You've received a total of 350,290,000,000 gold coins. The reward has been sent to your backpack. This amount was equally shocking. Anyone with a discerning eye could tell that he had bet with the money raised by the players in his world. That guy is so confident. Did he win by himself? He actually almost lost. Fortune comes from danger. However, the players from Earth knew that the immortal slaughtering poison master had not forced Brother Nameless to use his full strength. After all, Brother Nameless still had one rebirth. Of course, Lu Chen actually had two rebirths. It was just that the players on Earth did not know about it. He had too many secrets. The immortal slaughtering poison master sat there, looking extremely dispirited. Just as Lu Chen was about to leave through the black hole teleportation portal, the immortal slaughtering poison master suddenly called out to Lu Chen. "Do you want to know where the mountain man is?" Lu Chen immediately stopped and turned to look at the immortal slaughtering poison master. The mountain man was the key to unlock the higher difficulty levels. Ling Wu's only appeared in the hard level difficulty. "The eye of the dark gods can't distinguish my star poison body. Unless you tell me how you broke my star poison body. As long as you tell me, I'll tell you the coordinates of the mountain man." Lu Chen narrowed his eyes slightly and thought about it. Zhang Lingyan's mission made him understand that the words of the NPCs in Jiutian could not be completely trusted. However, he was willing to take a gamble. Reverse moon chasing. Lu Chen only said 4 words. Reverse moon chasing? After a long time, the immortal slaughtering poison master finally understood. Chapter 378. Most of the players watching the livestream were players from the advanced servers. Naturally, they knew about 7 stars chasing the moon, which was a common orange equipment. Many of them had even upgraded 7 stars chasing the moon by 5 before getting good equipment. Naturally, they knew about the reverse moon chasing status. However, most of them still did not know what the reverse moon chasing had to do with finding the celestial poisoner. After pondering for a long time, Sunset Eternal suddenly slapped his thigh. I get it. Master, what do you get? How did he find the celestial poisoner?" Sunset Stars could not wait to ask. "Stardust, do you remember when Solipsistic used 7 stars chasing the moon a second before he used super long-range shooting?" "I remember. At that time, he probably could not hold on for long, so he used 7 stars chasing the moon to buy time. At that time, I felt like he was running around like a madman." No. He was not running around. He was using 7 stars chasing the moon to find the celestial poisoner's position. "What?" Eternal explained to his disciple. 7 stars chasing the moon had a special feature. When the user used a displacement skill in the opposite direction of the enemy, it would be judged as escaping and activate the reverse moon chasing status. If the user used 7 stars chasing the moon multiple times, they would be able to lock onto the enemy's position based on whether or not they had activated the reverse moon chasing status. He used this method to find the celestial poisoner. After locking onto the enemy's position, there might be a certain deviation. However, his super long-range shooting is a small area attack skill, which just happened to make up for this deviation. This guy, he actually used this trash equipment to defeat a strong enemy that even I could not defeat. This is too unexpected. Sunset Stars was completely dumbfounded. Wait, Master, then didn't he use the dark eye of the gods? Then why did he close his eyes and give people the feeling that he was relying on the dark eye of the gods? That's right, this is what's really scary about him. Eternity shook his head and sighed. I think that even the immortal slaughtering poison master must have thought that his method was wrong. The eye of the gods couldn't find him in the darkness, so he must have been careless. Also, until the arrow was shot, Solipsistic deliberately turned his back to immortal slaughtering poison master. All these actions were to numb immortal slaughtering poison master, because he wasn't sure that immortal slaughtering poison master wouldn't move at the last second. So, not only did he numb him mentally, he also left the safest place behind him. Then, he would suddenly attack. At that time, Even the immortal slaughtering poison master would have no time to dodge. In that kind of situation, that kid's strategy, logic, and psychology were all extremely brilliant. Sunset Stars widened his eyes. In a situation where he only had 10 seconds to live, not only did Solipsistic come up with a countermeasure that no one else could think of, he even disguised it so well. Was he even human? It was no wonder that Poison Master Immortal, including the many people who watched the video, could not figure out how he found Poison Master Immortal. His master had never praised a person like this before. Moreover, it was an opponent that he hated the most. This could only mean that Solipsistic's operation was extremely powerful. Eternity Sunset shook his head. All right, I underestimated him before. I have to hurry up and become stronger. I must defeat him. Only by defeating him can I find my value. After saying that, Eternity Sunset left his disciple and rode away on his azure dragon mount. This master, the opponent that Sunset Stars once thought that he could easily defeat, had now become his master's goal. This difference made Sunset Stars feel even more devastated. Solipsistic, you are really that strong? Immortal Slaughtering Poison Master let out a long sigh. I still have many skills that I haven't used. Alright, between experts, they never give their opponents a second chance. After this defeat, I will no longer be the guardian of the arena. Since I came here, you are the first to pass the test. This time, I accept my defeat wholeheartedly. Perhaps you have the qualifications to challenge him. Speaking of that person, Immortal Slaughtering Poison Master laughed at himself. Speaking of which, it is very interesting. I once thought of defeating him. Unfortunately, his strength has already reached a level where I can only look up to him. If you only challenge him with your current strength, I can tell you with certainty that you have no chance of winning. Lu Chen smiled. Actually, you are not the only one who did not use all of your skills. What you saw was also not my full strength. Immortal Slaughtering Poison Master laughed in disdain. God's power? Do you know why I did not use it? Because the same level of God's power has no deterrent effect on the opponent. You being able to pass one layer of heaven means that you have at least one layer of God's power. So, using it would be useless. Lu Chen smiled but did not say anything. He indeed had one layer of God's power. However, he also had one layer of Devil's power. He was a dual cultivator of God and Devil. Not only that, he also had a portion of God's blood and a devil's seed in his backpack. He could level up to 2 layers. However, if other people wanted to think that way, then let them be. I will send you the coordinates of the mountain man, but I don't know if you can complete the mission he gave you. Lu Chen nodded and turned to leave the arena. After exiting the teleportation portal, Lu Chen let out a long sigh of relief and jumped off the stage. He refunded everyone's money. After this trip, these guys had earned quite a bit of gold coins. They had multiplied by more than 10 times. Although it might not be much on average, it could be considered as solving an urgent problem. Of course, Lu Chen himself had made a lot of money. His initial capital of 4.5 million gold coins was not only one round more than the others, but he also did not reduce his capital midway. Now, it was 90 million gold coins. This money should be enough to last him for a while. Great Wall of Iron and Blood checked the amount and suddenly sent a trade request. What? Lu Chen asked curiously. Nameless, you helped us win so much. Of course, you have to pay for your hard work. I believe no one will have any objections. After saying that, Great Wall of Iron and Blood transferred 100 million to Lu Chen. Yes, boss, you have to accept this money. You worked so hard for everyone. If you don't accept it, then you are looking down on us. We are very weak now, but with you, we have a goal to strive for. Boss personally taught us a lesson. It turns out that low-level equipment and techniques can still defeat the strong. Now we have confidence. Seeing that everyone was so enthusiastic, Lu Chun did not refuse. However, Lu Chun still rejected the 20 million offered by Tuo Luo Walker. I won't accept your money. I only have one request. I hope that you can lead the Earth players well within the month you promised. Lu Chun returned the reward. Mr. Nameless, please rest assured. To Luo Walker said solemnly, you have won the respect of all of us for the Earth players. We believe that Earth, which can cultivate people like you, may one day produce more strong players. We are willing to live in harmony with the Earth players. Lu Chun smiled slightly. Very good, this was the result he wanted to see. This way, he could continue to explore the second layer of heaven without worry. Chapter 379. That night, Louis cooked a feast for her brother. Although most of the dishes were ordered by takeout, it still filled the entire table. Brother, look, there's your favorite scrambled eggs with chives. I ordered 2 servings of the best in the city. Chives are good stuff. Lu Chun looked at the table full of dishes and could not help but drool. Hey, why did you prepare so many dishes? The 2 of us can't finish them all. Lu Yi looked at her brother with eyes full of admiration. Brother, you're too strong. I really admire you now. Tisk, did you just find out that your brother is strong today? No, you were good at games in the past, but it's different this time. Even the aliens were stunned by you. How did I get such a strong brother? Lu Chun rolled his eyes at Lu Yi. Crazy, hurry up and eat. Brother, I'll help you scoop rice. At the dining table, the siblings chatted casually. Oh right, brother, I saw your eyes glowing green before. I was scared to death. I thought there was something wrong with your equipment. Lu Chen's hand paused in the middle of picking up food. Speaking of which, should he tell his sister that he was a solipsistic? He did not want to hide it from his sister at first, but he did not have the right opportunity. Later on, he felt that Jiu Tian was not normal. He was not sure what the 2 identities would bring him, so he did not take the initiative to tell Lu Yi. After thinking about it, Lu Chun decided to forget about it. It was enough to let his sister enjoy the game. It would not matter if he told her when everything was clear in the future. Maybe I got infected by solipsistic when I hung out with him. Lu Chun explained perfunctorily. Brother. Lu Yi looked at Lu Chun strangely. Hey, tell me the truth. Lu Chun was a little nervous. He stared straight at Lu Yi. What truth? Is solipsistic handsome? Aya, you have such a good relationship with him. You even switch mounts and have the same moves. This means that you 2 must be doing dungeons together often. Have you seen how he looks in person? Why do you care? I'm just asking. Although he's a devil in the game, he's very mysterious and attractive. Stop. Let me tell you, you've been brainwashed into thinking of solipsistic. He's already married. Ah. No way. Are you sure? Yes. Lu Chun shook his head. He had to stop this silly girl from letting her imagination run wild. His son is already an adult, and his daughter is in kindergarten. Lu Yi pouted unhappily. Seriously, doesn't he usually bring his own wife along? This is too much. It's none of your business whether he brings his wife or not. Of course it's related to me. No, it's related to a lot of female fans. Don't you know? Now that the Jiutian official website has been upgraded to the Galactic server, we can access the Galactic server now. After leveling up, the officials organized an event for the most popular male player award, and he's currently in first place. You're second. Lu Chun was shocked. It didn't matter if there was a ranking, but now that there was one, the Mad Demon was first, and the Nameless was second? That's not right. I've done so much for you, why am I second? That guy massacred cities for no reason, why is he first? Lu Chun was depressed about this. Brother, you don't understand women's psychology. Lu Yi immediately explained. First, solipsistic is mysterious enough. Although you're mysterious too, you're still a human, and he's a devil. His appearance is super cool. I'll pretend sometimes. Am I not handsome in fashion? Yes, he's handsome, but what's so special about fashion? He's a completely different race. This completely arouses women's curiosity. No, do you women like the feeling of Beauty and the Beast? Normal beasts won't do, but he's super stylish. You can consider it. After all, it's only in the game. In reality, he's still a human. This is like Beauty and the Beast, where the beauty knows that the beast is actually a human. It's completely different. Lu Chen shook his head. Women's preferences seem to be a little difficult for him to understand. Brother, think about it. Is a female elf who suits your taste more attractive to you, or is an ordinary beauty more attractive to you? Can I say both? You men are fickle in love. Lu Chen shook his head. He didn't expect the identity of Mad Demon to be more popular than Nameless. Was this the legendary principle of the warm man's spare tire? Forget it, this selection had nothing to do with him anyway. No, wait, if it's a selection. Hey, fatty, what's the reward for first place? Yes, the title in the game, Earth's Most Handsome Man. What? Such an ugly title? Brother, why are you so excited? There's no reward for second place. Even if there is, it's Mad God who will get it. Lu Chen didn't think that scrambled eggs with leeks would be good anymore. The next day, Lu Chen was a little listless. He logged into the official website, which was a rare occurrence. Right now, the official website had changed to the Galaxy server's official website. Currently, he was connected to a few other servers that were also difficult and belonged to the 19th server. He could now communicate with them. Currently, the Earth server's selection was in full swing. In first place was Solipsistic with more than 200 million vote. In second place was Nameless Huaxia with more than 100 million vote. In third place was a certain Hollywood superstar with more than 100 million votes, similar to Nameless. In the forums, Superstar Media's management team was frantically soliciting votes, hoping to get the title of Earth's Most Handsome Man. Lu Chen saw the light at the end of the tunnel. Lu Chen quickly contacted his good friend Luoyu. Brother Chen. Haha, what made you think of calling me today? You moved to a new place and I didn't even have time to visit you. When are you going to treat me to a meal? I don't have many friends. Next time, I'll treat you to a meal alone. Sure, I have all the time in the world right now. Aren't you busy at work? It's the galactic server now, your company should be even busier. Sigh, don't mention it. Originally, after Lu Yi joined Wild Waves, she would bring me along whenever she had time. My equipment level was the highest in the company. I thought I could get into a good department, but my manager's nephew came and replaced me. He has connections. We can't compete. Lu Chen thought for a moment. Little Black, join Wild Waves. Brother Chen, Wild Waves isn't a place you can join just because you want to. Their guild rules clearly state that you can't use connections to get in. Lu Chen smiled. I believe you're not weak. I'll go ask their guild leader. Really? Brother Chen, do you know their guild leader? If I can join Wild Waves, then I'll fly. Fly? You still have to rely on yourself. I know. What I mean is, the platform is different now. Wild Waves is now a super strong guild. Lu Chen sighed slightly. He didn't expect Little Black to be so miserable. His brother was wronged outside and he didn't even tell him. However, this was good. He was too embarrassed to invite Luoyu before, but now he could pull Luoyu into Wild Wave. After all, he was in his own guild and could take care of him. Alright, do you know if there are people who buy tickets? It's the most popular male player event. I know a few. Why? Okay, help me buy tickets. Buy Thomas to be first. Ah? You know Thomas? No, I just don't want Solipsistic to be first. How much would it cost? This will cost quite a bit of money. Although this ticket isn't worth much, and Lone Tyrant and Brother Nameless won't cheat, there's very little competition. A single ticket might only cost a few cents. However, if you want to cheat 3 million gold coins, you'll need at least 1 million. Okay, I'll transfer 2 million to you first. Help me buy tickets. This. Brother Chun, you're working for Thomas's management company? Not really. I definitely won't allow the title of Earth's Most Handsome Man to appear on Solipsistic's head. This kind of thing definitely can't happen. The title of World's Most Handsome Man? It was fine if it was on Black Barton's head, but if it was on Solipsistic's head, it would be too embarrassing. No, this kind of thing definitely can't happen. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.